You didn't pay yet. If you want to have more days, you have to pay. That's the advanced pack. I know. Oh, it's kind of a shocker, but it is what it is. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I think what Bobby is saying is really accurate. That like, it's hard to get upset about DDO and their monetization practice. Not because they could do a better job. They definitely can. Or like, you know, that they're perfect. But because the math of how much everything costs is directly proportional to your play time. The more time that you play, the less everything costs.
Well, the cabin is empty. There is a note.
Which is weird.
Before you. It reads, stepped out back. Benson speaks as I know you're not looking forward to a
So like when the mount released the Nightmare, which I purchased, at first I was like $25 for a horse? That's a lot of dollars. And then I looked and I went, well, I'm actually not paying for this horse because I don't have to, because I just use the DDO points that I have on my account from playing a lot. So I actually didn't pay any money for the horse. And I have it, and it's very cool looking. So like, it's not the easiest, you know, comparison to make all the time. Because it's really easy to get upset and be like, well, this thing should cost less, but in a lot of cases, sometimes things do cost less. $0 is pretty low. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like, I'm certain that while a lot of people might be upset about the monetization practices, I can confirm that because of some of the monetization practices that DDO has taken, the game hasn't shut down. You can probably make the argument that if they had less aggressive monetization, then maybe they would be making more money, they'd have a larger player base. That's also possible, I don't know. Okay, so remember when I said you need to have the jump spell? So why do you need to have the jump spell? Because if you have jump, you can jump onto this and jump up here. The hireling, or not hireling, Benson, will actually follow. You can just ignore him. He will follow you up here, and it skips this whole leg of the quest. It's easy, and it's something everybody can do. It's also important to note that DDO is also one of the cheaper subscription games if you actually just do subscribe to it and treat it like a subscription game. Because, like, you know, a year's subscription to Elder Scrolls Online is like $150, and a year's subscription to WoW is WoW $100? I thought it was like, it's like 120 or 130, whereas DDO is 100. So it can be less expensive than some other video games out there.
Sounds like someone stirred up an ornery diary.
They haven't updated their prices in a while.
Something tells me the Netherese can educate their higher muscle at the local store.
I am under attack. Right, apparently I got them all. Nice, good job, me. Yeah, yours. It was only 100. Did they change the price of the sub? I'm pretty sure it's only 100. That's the last time that I paid for it. It was 100 USD. But they changed it this year, I don't know. Because mine's up, or like later this year, I don't know. Mine's up next year. I think my sub is up in March. Room for DDO to go over to its current state. Always be a niche market, yeah. I'm gonna pull these out. There's tons of spell wards in this area, so you have to be careful. As I said, I can walk through spell wards because I can't be paralyzed, so I don't have to worry about it that much. But if you can't walk through spell wards, you're going to get paralyzed, and it'll be very dangerous. So you have to be careful about that. I'll walk over here because you actually don't have to fight Song, who was T-posing. Look at that T-pose. Look at that T-pose. Damn. In the little picture down there. You don't actually have to fight Song. Just leave her.
Maybe Blizzard can add a function so you have to pay $1 each time you log in. That might help out that struggling game studio.
Honestly, good idea. Just charge people $1 for the privilege to log into your video game. Good call. For the drops again? I'm just trying to think. I don't think it's... Yeah, I don't think it's $100 or $120. So that'd be weird. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, I can check. It's in-game, so just give me a second here. I can take a look. I don't know what information it shows, so just give me a second here. We're going to take a look. You're going to have to look at my face while I'm looking this up. Description. Yeah, it's 100% $99. I can even show this in game. It's right there. Over $79 savings versus a standard monthly price. My subscription is active until 2024. I accidentally clicked this button again, and I spent an extra $100 on it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's always been $99. So maybe you have a special client that you downloaded from. I don't know. Maybe you're on one of those websites. It goes at like G2A or something where they sell like codes at a different price. I don't know. But yeah, it's been $99 there since 2015. I've just paid $100 a year since 2015. Back, Dolithin. It sounds like dolphin. Dolithin.
No, not again. Oh well, it's probably nothing. Through the forest to the lodge now.
When you add in tax, remember we're paying 120. I mean, it's probably 120 with taxes. That sounds right. How much would it be here with taxes? I believe for me it would be 113 US. For me. Web failure. They even have like extra saves versus spells. Maybe this doesn't count as a spell. Okay, pro tip. A lot of people will go left around here. You can skip all of that. Just walk through this bush. And you don't have to go left and fight all the extra bosses over there. There's like a druid and a bunch of other nonsense you have to fight. You can skip it all. Skip it all. And rather than manually sub, I buy the $99 just because I know I'm going to play DDO all year. Like, it's just easy for me. It's an easy set of math. $100 is like $8.60 a month to pay for the thing. It's not that bad. And the amount of entertainment I get at a DDO, for me, vastly outweighs the amount of entertainment I pay for. I think it's the reason why I didn't buy that $480 thing for Path of Exile. It's cool. I think it's very cool. But, like, I don't buy $480 things in DDO. And I play DDO way more, so it just makes more sense to me. Doesn't Steam take a cut? Maybe. I don't go through Steam. But yeah, Steam does take a cut for any purchases that go through their store. So they might have a different price on Steam.
This had better be the last.
PvE hoodie though? That's the thing, is I will say the hoodie and the art is kind of legit. This guy has dodged all of my stuns. Except for that one. Get out of here, bastard. Stop dodging my good attacks. Oh my god. Now, that thing is dangerous. That guy, the Night Revels champs. I hope they get rid of the Night Revels champs. They're really hard to deal with. Go away, Night Revels champs. You can't even do Night Revels anymore. It's over. Maybe ringing back Catacombs back. You want to pick up the Gold Zero Hireling? Probably not. Only $480. Well, the problem is it's not $480. It's $480 US. And $480 US is like $20,000 Canadian. So yeah, I don't know. I'm breaking all the breakables in here just because all the breakables in this quest are in this lodge. So you get the breakable bonus for a very small additional investment. And $10 a month? Yeah. Yeah, I usually go with the 1-year sub when I can. As opposed to the month. I agree. Presumably if I'm going to be playing a game for the whole year. Games I'm not. So for example, like Final Fantasy 14. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 in a month. And when Path of Exile came out, I canceled my sub. And I'm going to go back to it later. Because I'm like, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm just not right now. I know I'm distracted. Video and art. He definitely doesn't have it. Because there's no way they shipped any of that stuff out yet. But...
Careful. Do not underestimate the cunning and insanity of this one. The Netherese.
I'm gonna talk to this guy and kill him. There's also Slam here. Because I'm a Vanguard, I can actually stun Slam. Because normally stun immune, but Stunning Shield stuns everything in the game. Why? Oh, it just does. Then I can get him with the Execute, and it's over. Slam's gone. I can take down the ads. Add 1. This little archer is moving at the speed of sound away from me, and I'm hamstrung for 30 years. Oh my god, why? Fortunately, I can second wind away the hamstring, but oh my god, why? Why do they hamstring you for so long? Paper ESO because you keep forgetting to cancel? That's very true, yeah. True, straight up. I just forget to cancel it. You know what the benefit of forgetting to cancel is? 60,000 crowns. Oh, man.
Out of harm's way. The nether scroll fragment should no longer be effect of the operation. Now that
baby. Treads of Falling Shadow. Mythic 3. Dex, Insightful Dex, Mythic 3, Striding Ghostly. There's honestly kind of good. But because of the WoW expansion, because somebody bought it for you. So, yeah, Dragonflight is something that I personally have no interest in playing, but some people are, think it's cool. Some people have been enjoying Dragonflight. I've heard it's a very good expansion. You know how I can tell? There hasn't been a lot of complaints. I've been checking over the World of Warcraft subreddit, and I haven't seen that many complaints. Usually, day 1 to 5 is when you're going to see the people screeching at the top of their lungs about how much they hate the video game. And that's a good indicator of how good or bad the expansion is. And there hasn't been a lot of screeching. There's been some complaints, but not a lot of like big time screeching. Like Blizzard, this is the last straw. I can't believe they've done this again. Etc. The really hyperbolic, like, for real, I'm actually thinking about quitting this time. And so he goes, hi, I've been playing this game since before the game released and before most of you were born, because I've been playing for 100 years. Me and my entire guild of 80 people are all going to be quitting the game forever because this change that they've made, where now when you try to mine stuff, you have to click it twice instead of clicking it once because there's now a second mining option. This is ridiculous, and Blizzard should know better than doing this. Okay, thanks. Always honeymoon period? No, people hated Shadowlands right away. And Battle for Azeroth.
The hermit's footprints lead off to the east, deeper into the gloomy wild. A massive tree looms in the midst of the fog.
Admittedly, the only time I didn't play was Legion. But yeah, a lot of people hated Shadowlands. Like, millisecond 1, they realized they hated it and didn't want to participate in it anymore. So that was an option. And then, yeah, Warlords. Man, the Garrison. They were like, Garrisons? No, I want this. Get your Garrisons out of my game, dude. The BFA Kool-Aid? Did they? They did have a couple cool cinematics. BFA releases were very positive. Interesting. That's counterintuitive. I would have expected it to be more negative right away. Just everything in a week? Sounds about right. I mean, to be fair though, finishing the expansion and leveling out in a week is, for an MMO population, is not really unexpected. Again, for somebody who plays like World of Warcraft and stuff, it's really not unexpected. There's a reason why they add dailies. It's the only way you have something to keep playing once you finish the content in the calendar week. When you were so invested in the game monetarily, you feel like you can never escape it. That's a sunk cost. Sunk cost. Doesn't just have to apply to games. It can apply to everything. It can apply to video games. It can apply to a relationship. It can apply to all sorts of stuff. You just feel like you're investing too much time in something to walk away from it. Pretty lacing with, but I've been tripping all day. Whoa, funny.
through musty stone that smells of swamp water.
So you're saying that in about a month's time is when, so like end of January, we'll start to get like the I hate this expansion threads coming to the top.
Beyond the thorns lie the fetid waters of the swamp where furious at your invasion, the Medusa summons her minions and flees deeper into her domain.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never been a big fan of World of Warcraft because I'm a contrarian. I'm not that much of a contrarian. I've just never been a big fan. I don't really like the art style of the game for the most part, and I also don't love a lot of the character designs and the classes. I hate being pigeonholed. I can't bring myself to play any character that is just a DPS because then you're just a DPS. That's all you do. You don't do anything else. So like you want to join a group, guess what? If there's not a spot for a DPS, you're stuck. Whereas like if you play Paladin, you can just swap your role and still join the group or be flexible. So I find half the classes in the game are completely out because they're just DPS classes, you know. And then yeah, I just don't like the playstyle of a lot of different characters. I don't have nothing to do with the better than post on Reddit. I always gotta say, I really appreciate the people who take the sacrifices at the beginning of a Path of Exile league, where the cost of items changes rapidly, and being the first one to like the gold pile is really important to figure out, okay, this is what this is worth, and you can like make all your money in the first day or two. I have to appreciate the people that will take that time during the beginning of the Path of Exile league to just shitpost on the subreddit instead. They could be pushing it and doing all that stuff, but they're busy providing content for other people while they're like, you know, taking a quick break to browse the subreddit and need something. And this is hard work, and somebody's got to do it. And now we've got Rost, the mark of Beelzebul. Get him out of here. 5k Sunflasks in our go, but to send them all to you? Nice. I don't need any Sunflasks, so you don't have to send them to me. I don't want your Sunflasks. But I'm certain that if you try to send them to any of my characters in Argoness, especially Strimtom, I'm sure my mailbox is probably already full. We're not going to be doing Sunfest 2023, so I've already decided that, so I don't need them. But you can send them to me. I'm just not going to use them. Thank you. Oh yeah, that mailbox is going to be full. I would log in almost every day to a full mailbox. Oh no, the Temple Shield Guardians. A lot of people don't realize how dangerous they are. Reminder, against Medusas. How do you deal with the Medusa? When they start to scream, turn around. Did you just dispel all my magic? I'm going to get my magic back. Like so. So I can't get killed by anything. Heal myself back to full. Keep fighting. I don't know why she's not doing anything. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Greater Shout. Right. Greater Shout has no saving throw. I didn't realize she had Greater Shout. Die, please. Terrifying. I forgot that she had Greater Shout, and Greater Shout has no save. Cold Fest? No Cold Fest. I'm going to play my main character. I'm doing pure Caster Life currently in Epics and not having a good time. Interesting. I like Caster Cleric. Especially in Epics, because you just blow everything up. My favorite edition's DDO. Second Wind is a great ability. I'm really glad they added it to fighters. Sunflasks on the auction house. I don't really just send them to the vendor because you never use them. It's not worth it to sell them on the auction house. In fact, if you sell them on the auction house, people will, if it's on Argonessen, will probably buy them and send them to me. Which would cause me frustration, which I guess is your own level of value in terms of like if that has value, then obviously it's good for you to do, but yeah, it depends.
Hiding from the local bandits or something. A nervous man.
Got a guild roster? Oh, you can fill up my mailbox on every character that I own. Oh! Ooh! Big F. Somebody just died in Wake Me Up Inside. Dude, level 31 Zolern. Wow. That's rough, man. The kind of under post a week after Shadowlands called How I Feel About Shadowlands. And the post is an image of Worldcraft now playable, 7k upvotes, suggesting that it fixed all of BFA's issues. Shadowlands' honeymoon period. Maybe it's because the people I talked to really hated Shadowlands. No, he couldn't wake up. Straight up, like I died. Dead Zilla, man. What the heck? Need more damage. Oh, why does hamstring in the video game? Please stop, video game designers. Get hamstring away from my video game. I don't need it. It's just nice if every single archer in the game wasn't equipped with it, and then they spammed it, so you're constantly affected by it.
The foes fall. The terrified villager beckons you over. As you enter the inn, a voice calls out.
See, this is why it's good to have people who can fact check stuff. Although this is a 134 upvoted thread. Or 130 votes. 34 votes. Bro, I don't know. Even though the WoW subreddit's smaller, they still get a lot of people on there. Yeah, people couldn't log into the game. I remember day one of Warlords, I wasn't going to play, and a friend of mine goes, "Hey dude, you want to play Warlords?" And I'm like, okay. So I go over to his house. We're sitting in his basement, trying to load up the game to get it to go. Make a character. We play for like a couple hours. Then we get booted from the server because of server stability issues. And then we couldn't log in. Then we got to play again. Then we got booted again. And we didn't know when we were going to get back in. And it was like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, you know what? Whatever, let's go do something else. Let's go get some food. So we went to McDonald's, right? So there we are at McDonald's, right outside the college at 2 in the morning. It was like 3 in the morning. It was like an hour walk. And we get there. The problem is, it's 3 in the morning at the college McDonald's. So, you know, it's a little wild. It's a little rowdy. Most people are very incapacitated or inebriated through some combination of drugs or alcohol. And there's us at the McDonald's talking about World of Warcraft. Oh, good times. That was actually a very fun day. I ran into a lot of interesting individuals there that I hadn't seen since like high school. They were very intoxicated. Good times.
Don't you touch anything but that key. I keep all my valuables in there.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I don't know why DDO, I don't remember Ravenloft having launch issues, or Sharn. But Isle of Dread had some launch issues. And some of the more recent just updates have had launch issues, which is really weird.
You will not stop us from finding the pieces and assembling the scroll.
Yeah, but you can they're all positive except for the post of long DPS queues for dungeons. Well, yeah, it's because don't play DPS if you want a fast queue. It's actually nice. In Final Fantasy XIV, the DPS queues are still the longest queues, but they're a lot shorter than they are in other video games. Because sometimes playing the DPS can actually be kind of annoying. So you have more stuff to do. Although, admittedly, it's not that much more stuff to do, and I still think that playing a healer is the hardest role in the raid, but, you know. No blames Hasbro for all the DDO launches? Probably, yeah. Both that sounds like a very Tom thing to do, to blame Hasbro, because he hates Hasbro. And then also, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some meddling.
You have the nerve to face me. Come up here.
The same size team for Sharn or for Ravenloft? I don't know. Or Sharn, I actually don't know. Well, I think it's also different in terms of scale, right? So think about things that have released. So when Ravenloft released, it was new content and nothing else. We got new races, we got new sentient system, all new. Nothing that was dealing with existing data. It was all new data. But like when we had the bank shutdown update, that was reworking the entire bank and rearranging everything. So yeah, there were issues, but also it was taking existing code and existing data and doing something to it as opposed to, you know, new content. So I can see that as being like same thing with Ravenloft. Ravenloft didn't revamp anything. Came with Inquisitive, came with Tiefling. You Tiefling Scoundrel. Very cool. But didn't revamp old code bases. Just added new filigrees and some of the new stuff. It seems to be anytime they try to do something with where they're touching the code, there's always problems. When they're just adding to it, it doesn't seem to have as many issues. Which is probably the reason why, for many, many years, the development staff around the game, like especially when they had lots of money, like when they were releasing Menace the Underdark and Shadowfell Conspiracy and stuff, only added and didn't actually change or update some of the older code bases because it would be time-consuming, costly, and expensive. I looked at Azamar. I was talking about Sharn with Tiefling.
Voice issues from the cellar.
I also said Inquisitive.
Attacks, man.
Inquisitive. Where are you, Taurus?
The wizard's voice.
Kill this. I'm gonna kill all the archers around here just because if I don't, I'm gonna be in trouble. Like, I trust Goro because I'm not going to do the research myself. That's usually where it comes to. If somebody says that they source something, I just trust them implicitly because I'm not going to take the time to do the research myself. And why would somebody lie to me? Like, on the internet, for sure. Like, a stranger I don't know. But Goro's somebody who's been in the chat for years. So, I don't really have a lot of motivation to distrust him if he says something. Usually if it's somebody who's like newer to the community, I will be a little bit more wary about what they say. Like the greatest example is that I didn't remember who it was, but it was a while ago. There was like that guy that came in the chat. We were talking about the new Lord of the Rings TV show, and I was saying how like a lot of the initial complaints about the show were things that, you know, there are specific reasons why people were complaining about the show. A lot of the issue with the race of some of the actors in the show. Which is not, again, I'm not talking about the whole show as a whole. I'm talking about at the beginning, there was a lot of that when people saw the trailers. And there's a lot of people that were upset about it. And there was a lot of people making videos about it. And then there was somebody, again, before the show had released, who came in and mentioned that they were like, oh yeah, you know, also the show goes against the vision of the Tolkien family, and they're actually suing the studio for the use of the license now because they don't like it. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really crazy. I hadn't heard that before. So I, like, believed them at first, and we talked about it. And I was like, oh, do you have a link to that, by the way? Like, do you know where I can read about that? And they couldn't find anything. And then I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. And it's because they just made it up. They just pulled the story. Because they didn't like the show for whatever reason. Probably because they didn't want to admit that they didn't like the fact that there were, you know, people of color in the show, and so they had to make up some other story in their mind that they didn't like. You know, that it was the show was being that the actual Tolkien people were suing Amazon over their use of the license. Now you could say, but Strimtom, you don't know that. They could have just be wrong, and that's true. But that's the problem when you start making stuff up to prove a point. When you make stuff up to prove a point, and then I can prove that you made it up. What's to stop me from just making stuff up that you can't disprove either? I don't know. That's why we gotta live in a world of, you know, live in the facts. Live in the world we can see. Also, goodbye, Smog from a trap. R.I.P. Talking about Lord of the Rings and it all happens. Jun, on them to provide the proof. Oh, for sure. I don't care that much about World of Warcraft. Like, it's also about the argument about, you know, how much does it matter? I don't really care about how much people liked or disliked the expansions upon release. That information is not important to me, so I don't really care about the answer being one way or the other. So I'm just gonna trust the information. It was something I was really passionate about, maybe. Like, I don't know. Frustrated voice echoes from down the hall. Oh, also in this quest, reminder, you need to have paralysis immunity, freedom of movement, or be a warforged or an undead. Or else you're going to run into a lot of problems as you get destroyed by these spell wards and get instantly killed. Just keep that in mind. Dangerous. Dangerous. dangerous?
A lone staff stands suspiciously in the center of this room.
I like that I'm mostly just soloing these quests. I don't really need the hirelings anymore. I'm just fightering my way through. Strength, break this staff. Cool animation. You just kind of like charge your way through with the sword. I don't know if they use that anywhere else. Just like a charge. Do they use that anywhere else in the game? Just offhand, I can't think of it anywhere else. We go here. Netherese staff. This one, I have to just explode it. I'm going to take fire damage. Just keep that in mind. Does construct work fine? Yeah, construct's fine. I say Warforged because you're construct, but presumably if somebody has taken the time to take construct essence as an artificer, they would be aware that that would give them the benefits of being a construct or a Warforged. Like, I just kind of take it, like, if you're somebody who is aware of that feat and has taken that feat, you probably already know what the effects of that feat are, and I don't really need to explain it. Does that make sense? That's the reason why sometimes I will leave out details like that.
Reminder that you can use Dispel magic on the spell wards to disable them. Dispel decreases their sub by a random amount, so you may need to cast it multiple times to fully disable the spell trap.
Correct. Unfortunately, as a fighter, I can't cast Dispel magic. I can only cast Dispel bones from body. So I can dispel this guy's bones from the rest of his organs, just dispel them, but I can't dispel the traps, unfortunately.
Then there is only silence.
And for it, even only 137, if people's overall reaction would be negative, then either the thread would be downvoted or top comments would be negative. That's also true. It's accurate. Even if it doesn't show up at the top. Yeah, because if it was like a health comment or something, then it'd be different. But if it's like, I'm actually having fun with the game, a lot of people downvote this comments real fast when people are not having fun with the game. Because of the current events that will impact the price of McCain cakes, which has stayed the same for like 30 years, which makes you wonder what's actually in the damn things. Is there anything even remotely, like, food adjacent inside the McCain cakes? Find out this week at 7 on Cake Watch or something. I don't know what the name of the show would be that watches the contents of McCain cakes.
I trusted my wife when she said she didn't die on me. However, the next day I woke up with a lich.
Got him, dude.
With their death, the sound of opening metal can be heard in the distance.
To know what feats do before you take them? I know. Yeah, reading. Would recommend. The library. I can't believe you're still going with Ruthless. I was just doing it because I needed like a palate cleanser from playing Flicker Strike because it was really gross. I just needed a sanity check from my Flicker Strike.
It must be another scroll piece. A Netherese wizard waves at you dismissively.
Maybe I'll show it off later. It's very fun, but it's also like green blindingly bad.
The scroll piece?
Not a greasy fast food burger is always the cure when you feel ill. Yeah. Especially if you have like any type of stomach problem, it just settles you right down. Greasy fast food burger. Yeah, because what happens is that the grease enters the bloodstream and slows down your heart, so your heart can't beat as fast, which then calms you down. Like, oh, my heart rate's too high. Hold on, eat this cheeseburger. Taking up that blood. Did you play a Scion? I've played many Scions in the past. Many Scions. So, when would you play a Scion? Basically, when you need to specialize... Scions can do anything. So anything any class can do, a Scion can do. It just does it differently. Back in the day, Aurabots used to be the best Scions, and so did Summoners, because you could take the good stuff, basically take all the Summon Aura stuff out of both Necromancer and Guardian at the same time, which is pretty good. Do epics still follow the level requirement before lockout? Yes. Also, for stat stacking builds, Scion is generally the best. Just because they have access to all the stats in all the areas. So for a long... Because they also get more stats from their ascendancy than any other character. So, for example, I used to play Whispering Ice Scion. And Whispering Ice would get you the most intelligence. They rearranged the tree, so I think it's better maybe to be like a witch, maybe? But, yeah. I should play that build again. Whispering Ice is fun. And I have a lot of in-stacking gear. A lot of really, really gross in-stacking gear now. Really expensive in-stacking gear. Interesting question. How do you find your place in the customer service queue if you never received an email? That's a great question. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. SSG's customer service is like a confusing nightmare. A labyrinthine mess that I don't know if it actually works. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is that almost every build works with anything. Like the in-stacking build that I'm doing, the Flicker, I'm doing it with Raider, but you could probably do it with a Trickster instead. Or a Scion, because you just need the Frenzy Charge generation. Everything else is on top. So you could probably do the build that I'm actually doing with either of those two classes. And a lot of builds can be crazy flexible. Like any build you can play with a Chieftain, you can probably play with an Elementalist. Or an Inquisitor. Or a Raider. So, like, you have a lot of flexibility, in my opinion. Like, it's easy to get suckered into, this is the one way to do it, but you don't need to do it. Into the road.
A keen-eyed elf nods to you as you enter the cottage. This must be the Harper agent you were
Keep being patient. I got a very well-deserved suspension, but no follow-up email, so I don't know how to log out. How long I'm out for? Just try logging in each day. Wait, you got a well-deserved suspension? That is interesting. Most people don't describe their suspensions as well-deserved. Okay, so this quest can be quite dangerous. Basically, you just want to stay away from the walls. The walls are covered with spell words, and they can be super dangerous. I'm going to show you guys how to do this super dangerous quest without taking any damage from spell words, or mostly, and also whilst doing a lot of monster skipping to make it easier and faster for you. Related to BFA, I'll take a chance. I have to post this thread. BCB is one of the best expansions about killing World of Warcraft. Well, yeah, absolutely. And it's important to note the reason why Doomsayers are oftentimes not very helpful, especially when it comes to the game state, because the Doomsayers are never right. Which is not saying that that criticizing a game is not good, but saying the game is going to shut down is like very inaccurate. It's the same as trying to call for like the actual end of the world. The only people who know when the game is really going to shut down are the developers. So like pointing out criticisms and stuff and being like, or like being critical and saying like, hey, this thing could be managed better and it's causing harm to the players. One thing, but the people that are like, it's ruining the whole video game and it'll never recover. Oh, dude. Seems pretty good to me. No hireling? Yeah, I just forgot to summon one and I don't really care. I'm a fighter. I fight people. I don't need a hireling. Like, consider that the total amount of damage I've taken on my health is maybe less than 100 points total. And I'm like a third of the way through the quest. Okay, so here's your first tip for getting through this quest. 1, hug left. There's a bunch of spell words, but if I go left around the wall, I can dodge all of the spell words. Just fight these guys over here. I don't have to deal with the spell words. Also, apparently I didn't even aggro that second pack, which is very convenient because I didn't want to. The cell swords will all just run to you, so you don't need to care about them. Just go after the wizards instead. Also, have magic missile protection, because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. Do that. Okay, so that's part 1 of this mildly difficult adventure. the next step here, this guy's standing right in front of a bunch of spell wards. So I want to kill him and his spell ward, or kill him and avoid his spell wards. How do I do that? First, kill this guy. And then second, hug left to dodge the spell wards. All right, now usually there's a lot of ways you can go. You can go, I used to run across this bridge. I learned a new route, but you're just gonna hug this wall here. There's like a bear, so you just kill it. Goodbye, bear. Follow the wall here, the river. You skip all the monsters down there and all the dangerous stuff. You just come along the outside of the wall right here. And then climb up here, and you've skipped all that stuff. You can go up to the shrine if you want, but you skipped most of the monsters in that entire section, and you're almost at the end. Kill everybody. Also, Cheat was slain. RIP. Maybe I should have used better Game Shark codes. Cheat better. Right. I completely cursed out the group I was with on this. I'm gonna use many bad words. It's suspended? Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, when you end up typing a lot of mean things in chat. So important note, if somebody says mean things to you, you can report them with the report function, and it does function in the game. A lot of people think it doesn't work, so they don't use it, which then means it doesn't work. It does actually work. These reports do matter. I do find it interesting that, you know, there are people that think that that is not the case, but, you know, it is what it is. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't think the reporting system works, so therefore I'm not going to use it, so therefore the reporting system can't work. If you're wondering why I'm staying alive for so long against a lot of these monsters, it's because I'm specifically using the Fate Singer Epic Mantle. The Fate Singer Epic Destiny Mantle is not the best Epic Destiny Mantle of the bunch, but it is quite good for what I want it, which is for keeping my hit points high, because I get a lot of temporary hit points. That's why I like it so much, so it's not bad. Anyway, there we go, we're at the end. I could have shrined there, but I'm just going to use my thing. Now, how do you deal with this big bad monster without actually getting thrown into the spikes? Because these spikes have blades on them. If you jump on them, you take a whole bunch of damage. The trick is to just pull the boss over here. If you have ranged, you just stand here and shoot him. If you don't have ranged, if the boss is here, you stand here. So when he throws you, you go straight back from there. It's all about the lines. That even though the game was up to 8 million active players, 4 million of that don't really count because they were utter noobs to gaming. Amen. It's what it is. Again, it's the same thing that when, like, you know, when Chris Wilson on Grinding Games talks about how he's like, oh, the average players, how they try to think about the game around the average player, and they talk about how the average player doesn't even, you know, finish Act 5 in Path of Exile. And then people go, yeah, but that doesn't even matter. That percentage of the player base is useless because they don't do anything. But those are like paying customers. So they're actually really important to the game company. Maybe not to the other users, but they're really important to the game company, people that are quitting early. I just always find that interesting, how the goals don't always align between maybe some of the gamers that play the game and the actual game developers who make it. There's 3 sets of cooking instructions, none of them were for frying? Oh, interesting. Frying the fries is not the recommended method of you eating fries. I mean, yeah, dude. Sounds about right, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna beat up Resignol and kick his ass. Send him back to hell. Guy actually does hurt quite a bit. I'm gonna have to go here. This should mean I'm not gonna land on anything. Good. Just check the lines, dude. That's all it is. Just check the lines. He hits really hard though. And he causes a sunder, which reduces my armor class, so it's easier for the monster to hit me. Let me heal myself to full, just in case. And he's dead. Got him. And end of the road complete. Solo fighter, let's go. I'm also at 2566 favor, so I think I'm actually going to hit the favor reward. which is funny.
Your Harper friend Rena raided
Anson's giving extra power surge charges. Yeah, I also miss the days of being able to use the human action boost at the same time as using the character action boost. So you would play human on all your main DPS characters, so you could use action boost, haste, and melee power at the same time. Or haste and power of the forge at the same time. Was it Epic Elite? Yeah. Even after releasing an update that completely revamped how the game worked. Days after releasing producers gas remained alive for years afterwards, and we shut down because Detour was coming out. Yep. I also like how they announced that SWTOR was going to be going into maintenance mode because of the release of Anthem, and so BioWare was supposed to shift all of their project resources into Anthem, and then Anthem released, and then they continued to develop Star Wars: The Old Republic. Good times. You guys remember those times? Good times. Now, I think Demonic Might is a stacking bonus to strength, which is kind of interesting. I'm not going to use it, but it is interesting. Bastion's also neat, because it has, like, bashing ability. It's Bastion. It's not what it is, but that's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, I'll take Evening Star Comms. PDK Comms? PDK Comms sounds good. Yeah, Anthem, a video game. It existed. It was very weird to think about. Windows 10 or 11? Oh, I have no idea. I haven't upgraded to Windows 11 because I'm scared of it. Because every time there's like a new Windows that you're supposed to upgrade to, I'm always nervous and I wait for somebody else to brick their computer first before I do mine. I thought they shut down. Didn't they shut the servers down of Anthem? Are you sure it's $1.79? I thought they shut them down. I'm very confident they shut the whole thing down. We did 7, writing until they fully kill it? Yeah. Pretty much. I don't really need the nether grass, although I do have, yeah, these are the level 25 ones. I don't think I need them. I'm not gonna use these. If you're wondering, I'm also selling to the brokers here because they give more money per vendor. I don't really need money anymore, but if you need more money, you can sell to the brokers and get more money. Okay. I have con 6 and fortification. I don't need the con 6, but a fortification would be nice. Because currently my fortification is 171. But I need fortification from something. I don't trust, like, lowering my fortification, so... Death block of fortification is interesting, but not really useful here. Because I have my strength stunning bracers, which are more impactful. Life 20... Light, cons 10, false life 40. That's a great ring. Wow, what an item in the video game. Also, bracers and twisting shade are actually cool. The exceptional seeker is nice because it actually stacks. You can, in theory, use an endgame one. Oh, true, I could have done that. There we go. Get all this crap out of my inventory. Bam. Yeah, no, I thought they did shut down Anthem. I'm looking this up. Yeah, they have not shut the services down yet. Yeah, so they haven't shut it down yet. They stopped developing the game over a year ago. because I remember, because I heard about it before it released, and then it released to very, 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 very bad reviews. And a lot of people were like, game not good. And then it was just interesting to follow from there. Okay, what do I have left? Kind of a big deal is interesting. I could do that one still. Another man's treasure is interesting. Oh, you know what I am going to do first? Whoa. But yeah, you can still buy it, true. Yeah, server's still up. That's what's confusing me. So now that I've done some of these things, I'm going to get the reward here, which is the Harper Pin Lesser. What this does is it allows me to break out of any crowd control effect I want once every 10 minutes. Very good item. Make sure you have one of these. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go do some Eberron quests now. I'm only level 24. Can you get DDO to work on Mac OS? No, it's not supported. I mean, I'm sure there's a way you could do it by like dual booting or getting a Windows emulator or something. But my understanding is you can't. Or Dungeons and Dragons Online, Lord of the Rings Online are no longer supported on Mac. Oh yes, Bobby. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Totally. Mm-hmm. Yep. I know exactly what you said, and I agree. I know, because whenever the topic comes up, you always talk about Imperial Agent, so I don't actually need to read what you wrote to understand it, but, you know. Yeah, Star Wars The Old Republic's good. I've said this before. So when the coronavirus hit, I needed to, when the coronavirus pandemic hit, I, needed something to do, and so I ended up playing through SWTOR and the storyline and stuff. Fun game. Really enjoyed it. It's free. It was a pretty good free game. I really like that the story was very, very, like, easy to get into. I'm out of potions of protection from evil. Well, okay, well, let's just have to figure it out as we go along. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna get my hireling. I'm too far away from the entrance. Crap. Alright, I guess I'm by myself for this. I have 2 stun breaks. We'll see what happens.
From a recent attack, Mortagon mutters. Foolish kobolds, couldn't fight them. We live in a cave nearby, though. Please.
Can you run DDO on an M1 or M2 Mac? Oh. I don't remember how hard this quest is, so I'm gonna be honest, this is a lot of new territory for me. I know this quest is hard for sure, I just don't remember how hard. So I might get die here. We'll see. Also, whenever you guys say Mac, my brain automatically defaults to McDonald's. It's like, oh, we're getting burgers? Is that what we're talking about here? Did I kill all the monsters? I did. Also, goodbye, Orin. This quest has a belt, which is very convenient. It's a belt with a level 20 shield wand cast on it. It's a level 20 shield clicky, and it's very convenient because it means I don't have to cast shield all the time. So we'll see. Also, the amount of shrines in here are also useful.
Yet there's no time to relax.
Mac and cheese, also a good option. Mac and cheese, very tasty. Very good. Good product. OB was slain by a trap. I remember this spider doing, like, a lethal amount of poison damage to somebody. I was doing this. I think they got bit for, like, 500 or something out of nowhere. I remember that happening. I just don't remember exactly when that was. Maybe they patched it. I don't know. Oh, my temp HP bubble. Save my life. But shield? I farmed this one out. I'm currently using the Epic Shield of the Scorpion. I got it from the desert, which took me 3 hours. So is it worth it? It's pretty cool because it has Profane Life Force, which is good. Insightful spell resistance. If I get any spell resistance item, that's good. Quality Sheltering, which is stacking sheltering, and +2 to all ability scores, all of which are good stats. Plus, it's a very highly defensive shield. So in the moment, it seemed very powerful, and it was a definite upgrade over what I was using before.
Perhaps the
running away. Get him out of here. Final room in the final fight. Trap room is scaled wonkily and do around 200 in Reaper per hit. In the final room, boss casts some nasty spells. Yeah, he actually casts Dragon Breath, which is cool. One of the benefits of wearing a shield is I don't have to take full damage from the Dragon Breath. So another big benefit to playing a shield-using character, and why I want to play Shield Vanguard and not Shield Vanguard, Shield Fighter, not specifically Vanguard. Yeah, here, Shaman. Here we go. Is there something giving you passive Shield Bash? Yeah, my point's in the tree. I just get 20. That's it. Again, I haven't really invested in it because I'm not really a Vanguard. I didn't take improved Shield Bash. Because the shield damage isn't really as impactful on this character. It's mostly the main hand damage that's more impactful. So I got the Shield Bash chance is kind of convenient. I'll have about 50% because I will be using the Ferro Crystal Shield once I get to level 29. It's really good. Because it grants both a bunch of damage and also Shield Bash chance. So why not? Okay. This thing is really dangerous. This room sucks. It's hitting me for like 100 every time. And I hate that. Right now we head left. So 20% is 1/5 hits are 2 times hits with the shield, or is there like crit where there are chance and another roll? Or is it like crit where there's a chance? Hold on, I'm trying to understand. So 20% is 1/5 hits are 2 times hits with shield. So 1/5 of the time I hit with the shield. It doesn't do double damage with the shield. I don't know what you mean by 2 times hits with the shield, but when I hit with the shield, it's just an attack roll using the shield stats for attack. And I actually don't entirely understand what you mean by the crit line. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't answer your question, but I can answer the first one. Because I have a 20% offhand shield bash chance, 20% of the time when I attack, my character will swing the shield, and it does this amount of damage right here, because the shield's a weapon.
Kobolds stand arrayed near the water to harass
kobolds.
anyone who comes near. A strange, rhythmic whistling.
If you want to avoid most of the damage, you can just swim underwater. Important note, the kobold slingers hit really hard. As you can see, all the fire damage coming in, so you gotta be really careful about this one. They can be very dangerous. Like that one hit me for over 100. Wowzers. This is why deflect arrows is very good. If you want to be much more careful than me, what you do is you go through this room slowly. And you kill all the kobolds along the way. Keeps you a lot safer. Sorry, typing hard, you answered? Okay, good. I'm glad I was able to assist. In the last fortnight of this hardcore, the builder scratch should... I mean, yeah, well, you have to get the gear as well, too, right? So that's honestly the hardest part. Because I think leveling up on a druid should be pretty straightforward. Because especially if you're doing, like, the tank druid thing, you can just level up as a fire druid and then use a lesser heart of wood if it's on hardcore and respec at the end. Yeah, fire shield's also a good option. True. Yep. My UMD is with power surge 24.5, which is not great, but what we got. Although heroism brings me up to 26.5.
The sound of stone grinding on stone can be heard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, being a melee can be complicated. And next season's super easy. Oh yeah. Also, what's up, XJX? How are ya? How are you doing? I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna use the shrine over here. Just because I'm low on all of my things and also my self-heal, and the final boss fight's kind of dangerous, so... let's get that taken care of right away. Fries, chili, cheese, onions, and jalapenos. Honestly, delicious. Can I have some? I'll take some right now. Give me those chili cheese fries. Delicious onion-covered chili cheese fries. Oh. I'm after dying just before Christmas? Well, hey, pick yourself back up. That's what it's all about. You might die today, but you can always come back again and again and try again and again and succeed. Yeah.
Cool,
It's a good idea. When we got the air fryer, the first thing we made is literally chili cheese fries. We had some chili and we had some fries, and so threw the fries in the air fryer, pulled them out, threw some cheese on top, threw the chili on top of that.
As things start to go dark, you can just
a good idea. I should do that again.
Fleeing the room with the artifact. That not go like I want.
Also, I love this quest. It's great. Smash.
The artifact's influence.
Remember I did this with somebody and they couldn't figure out how to open the door, and they're like, I don't understand, how do you open the door? And they're like trying to click the lever and like the lever's not working. And they were like legitimately stuck. They had no idea what to do. And I was like, try clicking on the door. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, go up to the door and click it. I'm like, huh? And they clicked it and they're like, as they smashed the whole thing.
This broad passageway is now too small for your
the air fryer does work well. Oh yeah. It's all about the crispiness. I love crispy stuff. I know some people, they'll like, you know, they don't have their fries nice and crispy. Dude, it's gotta be crispy.
You'll never get it. It's mine.
So we to cook sausage? Sausage, eh? Oh man, I've never tried sausage in the air fryer. It's a good idea.
These once deadly traps have little effect on your giant form. It's nothing more than a...
It's honestly just a great tool. Big fan. Smash. Get out of here, monsters. Bastards. Nice.
A door closes and the
don't have to do a whole lot here. Just gonna walk through all the traps. The traps don't hurt you when you're in giant mode. Only the final boss hurts when you're in giant mode. The final boss is right through here.
The entrance has been
good.
by a recent cave, and the
There's a lot of fire damage coming in. Took like half my hit points already. That's cool. Where are you, mech tech? I'm not gonna take a risk. I'm just gonna heal myself back to full. Stop jumping on the walls. There we go, good boy.
dropping his prize as he falls.
Hello, Nimue. Take that, and treasure chest. Come on, something good! Oh!
For a moment, you imagine all the amazing things you could do as a giant. And then
I got the belt!
you're stuck in this cave until you return to your
that's so
normal
cool.
size.
Oh my god. I got the belt, dude. Oh my god. And the best part about this, the deadly is good. The deception is stats I don't have. I already have the accuracy because it's on my goggles. I don't need the false life because it's on a ring. The physical sheltering is an extra stat, and I get the shield. No more shield ones for me. That's what I'm talking about. So eventually is your character actually upscaled? I don't know how it works behind the scenes. That's a good question. What's up, Godspeed? Oh my gosh. And there's another Warforged here. Look at him. Oh, baby. That's so... Oh, what a pull. Thank you, universe. Thank you. No downsides. Only upside. Because I have false life from the dust cart. And I have accuracy from here. So I don't have to worry about losing those stats. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Absolutely fantastic. Immaculate. Impervious. Anyway. Another man's treasure. Not that dangerous. I could get the Bastion Sword out of here, which would be very good. Let's see. Got a 20-minute shield spell. No more need of shield ones. Boom, 20 minutes. Oh, yeah. So important note, in this quest, there's a very dangerous set of monsters that will cast Chaos Hammer. They're the Warforged spellcasters. Very, very dangerous. If you are lawful, I am not. I am chaotic, so I should be fine. I actually need a hireling for this. I'll just do it myself. It's not a big deal. Notice I can't say fighting with a whole bunch of clicky abilities. So you end up cycling through them randomly. I don't cycle through them randomly. There's like an order that I like to use. So, wow, this thing is very dangerous. I definitely don't do randomly. I almost always start with opportunity attack, and because it gives melee power, and then move into another ability. So like opportunity attack into sword sings. Or I'll open with the shield smash because I want to make sure I'm getting the stun as quickly as possible on dangerous targets. Same thing, a good death, wait for the execute, and then I use Deadly Strike pretty much on cooldown. Big socket. Here we go. Hey, come back here. No Firestorm. Bad. I did not do a gold roll yet today.
On an island surrounded by bubbling ice. Oddly enough, the Warforged has a
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's random, but I do have an order, but realistically, yeah, you're just kind of using stuff whenever they come off cooldown. You just want to use stuff as quickly as you can. Yeah, the opulent officers are very dangerous. Alright, so now we got the lackeys here. Kill these guys. Important note, this quest is easier if you have 3 people, because you can just, like, spread out and each person takes a room. This is a swimming challenge with lots of underwater traps. If you aren't good at swimming, this may be difficult, but I'll show you how to get through it relatively easily. So, floor. Your character's feet is your hitbox. So if you're too low, if your feet are in the spikes, you're going to be taking damage, so keep that in mind. I think it's not as bad for Warforged, but... Ow. Actually, it is as bad for Warforged. Their hitbox is all over the place. Anyway, you just gotta be a little careful when you swim through here, because if you start swimming, you're gonna be taking spike into spike into spike. So you gotta be mildly careful about this one. That's why potions are good. For reasons I don't entirely understand, you can drink potions underwater. I think it's because you can drink liquids while you're underwater. So if you take like a bottle of Coke or something underwater, you can drink it. I don't know. Same thing with this. Wait patiently for the lights. I don't have the lightning. I don't have to, because 1, I can swim above it, and 2, I'm a fighter with a shield. So even if I fail my reflex save, I take barely any damage from it, so I don't care. I'm gonna swim past all this nonsense, because even though I get hit, as I said, it's not a big deal. Then there's a blow, or like a current. I'm just gonna swim against the current, so it doesn't shove me into the spike trap. Swim underneath this. Swim above this one. Also, if you try to swim on the left, there's current that blows you directly down into the lightning trap there, so don't get caught by that. This wall, just wait it out, then go past, and you're done. That's it. Question about your videos. Could you click the button on the quest text so that way if someone tunes in, they could see the quest name? Oh, yeah, sure. There's a keybind that changes this. I don't know what it is, so it'll change automatically on me. What's my crit profile? Currently, it is 16 to 20 times 3.
The red barrier has been opened.
Alright, so here are tons of restless resources. These things hurt quite a bit in heroics. They're not as bad in epics, but they are oozes and they do break your weapons. So that's why I swapped to a simpler weapon that is easier to break. It is my older Barovian weapon, so I can just let this break as opposed to my actual good current sword. So if you have a pet, you can just send them through the maze. Just click on this lever and click use, and they'll just run right through. I don't. So
the lever in the center of the room.
You're just feeling your way around. Important note, if you don't know where to go, there's an ooze that will spawn at some point, and it starts going in reverse, walking its way backwards through the maze. Okay, we go this way. Over here. I'm just walking against walls I can't see. Eventually, you're able to see the walls. Go out here and here. It's a lot of just zigzagging. If you're wondering what I'm doing, you just kind of zigzag back and forth. And zig it and zag it, and then we're done. And then you can teleport out. Also, the walls will appear so you can actually see them. So if you ever wanted to see what you were walking through, you can just go back through and be like, oh, this is what I was actually walking around in. So you can actually see the walls now. And the one that tricks up a lot of people is right at the beginning, where you have to go here, hug left, and then go through this. It gets a lot of people stuck right there. Although going backwards through this is kind of weird. It is admittedly hard to look at. It's hard on your eyes. The bind is J? Oh, probably. You play Paladin in Final Fantasy XIV? I played Paladin in 2015. Oh, right. I don't need to do that because I have the 20-minute thing. Thought I still do? No. Currently, I'm playing Dark Knight, Dark Knight, Red Mage, Sage, and Reaper. I have a Paladin who's level 63, or my Paladin is 63. But, yeah. They're moving... increasing his burst damage, removing lower potency, ability rotation, and baking a dot damage with base potency. I mean, yeah, it looks cool. Like I said, I was thinking about maybe relearning it once they actually make the changes. I knew they were going to be making some changes. That's why I didn't actually touch the Paladin, because I'm like, well, why would I spend the time to learn this skill and then it goes away? So, but yeah, it does look interesting, some of the stuff that they were planning on doing with it. Again, I'm just going to wait for it to actually be finalized and done. Yeah. Learned it before I learned the hiling trick. Yeah. It's not too hard. Just takes a little bit of time to practice and get to know. You ever try FF11? No. I have no intention to play Final Fantasy 11.
The glyphs represent locks that must be open to reveal the way.
Alright, so we got all these open. Here's how you work with this. Again, work backwards. Don't start with this because you're going to electrocute yourself. Start at the end. Connect all the dots. I don't want that to be connected to this red. Perfect. I don't want that to be connected to the red thing here. Perfect. Again, I just want to make sure nothing is connected to the reds. Great. So now, when it comes through, it should connect directly to everything and skip all of the red tiles. Great. So now we turn this, and I shouldn't die. Easy. A lot of people make that mistake and work the other way around. Work in reverse to make sure you don't kill yourself on those puzzles. Yeah, it's ruthless. You only get one skill from the library. If I don't find Herald of Purity, I'm going to be buying Herald of Purity. For this room, you might have noticed, I was looking like this. It lets you see over the walls of the maze to see where you're supposed to go.
The lever is pulled.
Oh, I could have just walked here. I do that every time. I always, like, instead of walking here, I just kind of always go over the walls. I don't know why. Force a habit. Residue Reaper? 6. I believe it's 4 in Heroics and 6 in Epics. How many floors does the Tower of the 12 have? It has 13 floors for one of each planes. Kol Karan is the patron of wealth and trade. And finally, Sharn is the City of Towers. The reason why it's there is because it is built in the manifest zone of Serania, so they soar high into the air.
Answering the final riddle
Lore
has opened the purple lock. The 3 arcane
and today is the only day today. There'll be a new day tomorrow and another day after that, but today is the only day today, so you better get it while it's good.
To the madman in charge opens. The renegade
and the Garish Griffins are apparently dangerous. People tell me that all the time. They go, man, these Griffins, they're dangerous, man. They are. They actually do a reasonable amount of damage. Don't memorize the positions. Just know your Eberron lore. It's way easier. I'm running Epic Elite. For that purpose. Oh god, these things. Okay, they actually do bite pretty hard. So I'm glad I had all my my self heals for this. Perfect. They're all dead. Smack. Oh, nice. One smack. All right. RNG gods, please give me the cutting currency. Give me the bastard sword. RNG gods, bastard sword. RNG gods. Nothing. I did get a treachery dexterity, which is kind of cool. Damn. Right.
And the mad transmuter got a
Against the slavers anymore? I remember disliking it. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Reroll? No, I'm not going to use rerolls. We're good. I don't need the weapon. I just wanted it. Shocking bastard sword. What a consolation prize. I'm going to do memory lapse. I don't remember this one being terribly difficult, except for the manticores. Manticores are incredibly dangerous, so you got to be careful on that. Does the luck stat on equipment enhance the treasure you get? No. So you always come here because this door is going to slide open. I don't know what causes the trigger. There it is. And then you get ambushed from behind. So you can just head off the ambush and go ahead of time. Beat up all the bad guys so you don't have to deal with an ambush. Should be good here. Alright, so now the manticores, you don't want to fight more than one at a time because they're very dangerous. So I want to make sure I'm fighting only one at a time. There's a manticore, so I want to fight this one. And then again, fight it alone. Also very scary looking, tell you what. They hit really hard, so I just want to make sure I'm not fighting them multiple at a time. Because it's very easy to accidentally pull multiple manticores. Especially because people, for whatever reason, don't walk in the middle of hallways. A lot of people walk like around, and they'll like hug the walls and aggro monsters through the walls. So you gotta be really careful about that. Like this manticore, you don't actually have to fight it, but the number of times where I have like done this quest with other people and they just, for whatever reason, hug the walls, and then all of a sudden, boom. I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of like traps in the middle of hallways, so I can kind of see where that reflex comes from. It's like, man, I don't want to fight every manticore in here. They're dangerous. Also, rain is going off all the time. Very cool. I was not expecting that. All right, so now I'm looking for the card for the book Fundamentals of Magic, and it says it's in stack 2. All right, so now I'm going to find 2 on the floor. It's 9. Or 11, one of the two. 5, 3, 4, 2. So this is stack 2. It's on the floor. You can see Roman numerals. Search the core principles of magic. And that is the book I needed. And that's the manticore I didn't want to fight. Get out of here, you manticores. Bastards. You're not my favorite D&D monster at all. And I'm going to heal back to full. Perfectly healthy. Took all the time with the old DD system. Yeah, this quest used to be very hard before update 50. Is Rain still on Vorpal? Rain is still on Vorpal. It is. With these books, the important thing is slay the shelf as quickly as possible. The shelf is the most important thing. It has to die quick because it keeps spawning monsters if you don't kill it quick. So just get it as quick as you can. Because it is in fact a construct, when you're attacking the shelf, you want to make sure you also hit it with Shattering Strike if you're playing my build, the fighter, along with this. Because if you don't, you're going to run into some trouble when you can't critically strike it or execute it. It's not vulnerable to any of those things, unfortunately. Because you don't have a fortification bypass item, I just happen to have fortification bypass from other sources. I think it's actually just precision. Okay, so that's, I got 1 crest. Oh, and the other one's over here. Nice. I don't have to deal with this at all, actually, but just in case it aggroes through the floor, I'm going to go take care of it. It is dead. Get him out of here. Nice. Is Vanguard good these days? Yeah, Vanguard's never really been bad. So, yes. Do you take that attack in Kensai? The attack that breaks fortification? Yes, Shattering Strike. That's what I'm talking about. Shattering Strike deals fortification. Or reduces fortification. I did. Yeah, I like making sure areas are clear before I move on, because it can be quite dangerous. Also, up here, I'm going to show you a part where a lot of people die. That you don't have to die, but a lot of people do. So there's that. Is Caster Druid good in Heroics? It's better in late Heroics, but it is still good in Heroics. It's very, very strong. There we go. Now we come up here. Okay, so how do a lot of people die? These Mephits are very dangerous and cast a lot of lightning spells in Heroics and Epics. They are very, very dangerous. And so I've seen many people die because they go to fight those Mephits. Don't go to fight those Mephits. Just pick up the crest and walk away. I'm tanky, so I don't take that much damage, but some people are not tanky and take a lot of damage. Keep that in mind. That plus precision is good? It is. No, I'm good.
Quest
Breaking news,
completed.
the Dino from Dark Legends is immune to damage. Interesting. You can use it to tank raid bosses? Neato. I don't know what to do with that information, but it is cool that it has an actual utility. Also, Eyes of Death, welcome back to Stream Team for 2 months. Appreciate the support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Glad to have you here. Also, another quest where if you happen to have Dimension Door, very convenient, because you just shoot yourself back to the start. Our 7 cogs and 2 people just carried. They were both druids. Yes. When you get access to ice flowers, it's very good. Druid good. Like I said, early heroics, druid less good. Late heroics, druid very good. It's not even bad in early heroics. It's just so much better in late heroics and epics. It's crazy. Like, druid doesn't need epic abilities. They just cast their spells. Dinosaur exclusive to legendary werewolf? I don't think. Maybe? They might count against your summon limit.
It's now dominated by a gigantic tree and an equally gigantic school teacher.
I'm Bill. I played through our 10 cogs with Strimtom's group. They carried me because my gear wasn't up to snuff. There you go. Hey, sometimes you just join a group for our 10s and you get some free Reaper XP. It happens. Yeah. Druid very, very, very strong. Here's a book that can be used in a speech.
Found a book that can be used in the speech.
I like the way that he describes it. He's like, you found a book that can be used. Like, you're not supposed to, and this is the wrong book, obviously, for this. But if you wanted to, you could use this one. Couldn't say all the wrong things. All right. Yeah, Druid's very, very, very good. Would definitely recommend. Again, it's one of those things where, like, that's why the favorite soul nerfs felt kind of weird. Is it's like,
You found one of the books for the speech.
the favorite soul
All the books
is nowhere near
inside
the
the
power
book
of Druid,
have been
and it got
found.
nerfed, and I was like, well, all right. Yeah, Flame Strike covers a lot of it, and Firestorm helps that a lot, but yeah, it definitely, once you get Firestorm is where it starts to feel really good. That's 13. 13 is when Druid starts to feel like really, really good, and it only gets better from there. It never gets worse.
Several
All right, now we need to find the book. And they're both right here. That's very convenient. Thank you, video game. Uh-oh. Use my stun break to make sure I get out of that. Thank you, Harper Agents. This is, again, why we have the Harper Agent effect. Harper Pin Lesser lets you break out of any crowd control effect and just immediately free yourself. So that is why I use that. Grab both books. Sometimes you have to go upstairs, but I got lucky and I did not. I'm also going to shrine here, which is why I do this one last. The west path has the shrine. There's also a shrine in the north path, but I do this one last.
You've found a book that can be used in the speech. All the books in the West Wing have been found.
Is quest knowledge is great, but it's a little delay before it does damage. Yeah, but that's just timing. It takes practice. And the reason why I'm okay with that, and some people are like, they should get rid of the delay. It's like one of the best spells in the whole game. So giving it a delay means that there's like a skill component to using it. You can't just like You kind of can face roll druid, but it's slightly harder if you don't know what you're doing. So that's where I find it okay. I never spoke to Terra. Thank you. Okay, so how do you do the speech? First, you have to relax people. And how do you relax people? You hit them with a joke book. That's how you open up your speech. You tell a joke.
You need to help Terrence find books in his memory.
It's a good way to, like, you know, lighten up if you have a crowd of people or whatever. If you're not ready, it also makes you personally feel more comfortable. Just tell a quick joke. Be like, hey, so what about that weather, huh? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now, we're going to talk about the college memoir, because it can be relevant to the subject, telling a relatable story. Can be useful, can be helpful information. So that you're giving people basically context for why you're doing what you're doing. Then you want to go over the fundamentals of magic. You got to state your case. What is important to what you're trying to say? What are the key cornerstones of, you know, your message and your messaging and how you want to put that across? And then finally, the closer. Once you've got people's attention, you open with the joke, you wrap them up with the story, so now they're interested in what you have to say, and then finally they understand what you're about to say. You hit them with the central thesis. You say, this is it. This is the big mama, you know, information dump to end all information dumps. That's it. All right. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm. Wisdom Helm.
Is able to bring his speech to a rousing conclusion.
I wanted the Wisdom Helm. Could you tell? Could you tell that I wanted the Wisdom Helm?
Is now just another memory for his collection.
Just slam that book on the podium. Exactly. Right. No. Oh, that's probably better than Natural Armor 9. Oh man, although 81 armor class. Fluid. Boy, my arms are sore. You jump over and you land there dead? Yeah, that's what I do. You'll notice when I play Caster Druid, I do a lot of jumping over and casting down. A lot of casters, actually, but yeah. Did I grab a Sentient Jewel yet? No, I didn't. Alright, what quests are left to do? I did Von 3 and Von 4 already. I don't want to do Belly of the Beast. I want to do ADQ. I don't really want to do Catacombs, because Catacombs is really scary in early epics, especially on Epic Elite. It's way scarier than you think it is. So it looks like I'm on Gianthold next. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. We're on Gianthold. Where do I want to spend my points, though? I could go with Disciple Studies and then pick up +3 to hit and damage, which is kind of good. I mean, it's just +3 to hit and damage, or +3 to all saves. I think for now, I'm just going to go with +3 to hit and damage. Renewal? I don't need renewal. I could take it, I guess, but I don't have any healing spell power at all. I have 73, so it would not heal for you very much. Also, I'm a Warforged, so my healing amp not as good as my repair amp. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing Epic Gianthold is the next step. How much favor? So far, I'm at 2605. Well, 2605 apparently, according to my log. It's not updated here. Did I grab Healer's Friend? No, I did not. Oh, you know what's a good idea? Getting the extra health from Arganescent Favor. The Portable Hole. I'll take the Dragon Shard. Extra health. I forgot about that. Why does it hit twice? It's the way that they got it to heal. So basically, they'll probably have to reprogram it someday. But the way that it currently works is that when you use Lay on Hands, it effectively divides the healing in half and does half healing and half repair. So let's say you would Lay on Hands for 100, you get 50 repair and 50 healing, and that's the way they kind of balance it out, I guess. The problem is, the healing amp applies to the whole thing. So you heal for 100, and your healing amp is, let's just say, 50. So that actually jumps up to 150. Then you divide that amount in half, so you get 75 healing, and then 75 repair, which is affected by your repair amp, which if you have, let's just say, another 100, then that goes up to 150. So your 100 hit point heal is healing you on a Warforged for like 225. Out of nowhere. So it's fun. It's interesting that you can do stuff like that. You know, it's an exciting experience. I have no gems to sell, right? It's like, what? I have gems to sell. I don't need these Wands of Shield anymore. I'll keep one just in case, but I don't think I need them. No, but it is the way that it functions in the game, and it's been like that since its release. So it's been a long time where it's been like that. Any plans on doing Caster's Sork in the future? Any plans on doing it ever? Yes. At some point in the future, I will play a Spellcaster Sorcerer. I don't know when, but eventually. It's just G-Toasters have made it hard enough. Yeah. It's been better. The reason why I don't care about healing is because this character I can heal using Second Wind. And Second Wind is useful because it does repair if you're a Warforged. So because I'm a Warforged, I actually get repair from Second Wind as opposed to like regular healing amplification, which is cool. Is Caster Sork recommended for hardcore? No. The thing about Caster Sork is that it's very powerful and extremely good. However, you have the problem of hubris getting in the way, where you will start playing and start doing well, killing monsters, blowing things up, and feeling very good, and you're going to overextend and go into a trap you forgot about, or you're going to overextend and get surrounded by monsters, or you're going to forget about the fact that you can be crowd controlled and get killed by something in one hit. The only time I would recommend playing Hardcore League as a sorcerer is if you take breaks. Every hour and a half, take a break. Get up from the game and don't play it. Let your brain reset. Don't let that momentum keep ramping up until you run faster and faster into a wood chipper.
I love these hills.
So that will happen. That's the best way to play sorcerer. Some people can handle it, but yeah. Because like I said, you will find it very easy, and you'll be like, wow, this is so powerful. Why isn't everyone doing this? And then you'll eat it to something, and you would normally not get killed by another character. Not because you're squishy, but because you like stood in the wrong place. You just did the wrong thing because you weren't thinking. You were sorcering. Again, there's like traps in places. I already explained a lot of the stuff initially with like the first run through of Gianthold, so I'm gonna be a little bit less, or a little bit more nonchalant about some of the details about how you avoid danger in these areas. Yeah. Stretch your legs, get a sip of water. Yep, absolutely. Gotta be healthy. Gotta live that healthy gaming life. Record source said reduce charisma. It's not that big of a deal. Just get Greater Shout and then cast a spell that has no saving throw on it. That's the trick. Brook was one of the builds in Season 1. Did I write a sorcerer in Season 1? I don't think so. I don't know if I've ever written a sorcerer for Hardcore League. I played So Fast WoW, my fire sorcerer that leveled up really fast in Season 2, but I don't think I've ever added a build with sorcerer in it for hardcore. Interesting. Maybe I'll have to do it for next season. Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. The Sonic Sork. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I can't remember my own life and the things that I do on the regular. Yep. I remember now. I was there. Yep. I did do it. I did actually write that. I just couldn't remember. Remembering stuff is hard. You'd think it would be easier, but I don't know. It's been a busy couple of days. Holidays got my brain up all in a rattle. It's a whole rattle, dude. I'm hoping that Gianthold will get me closer to 26. That would be ideal. It's probably not. The downside, epic leveling solo so you don't get the buddy bonus XP, and epic leveling solo so you don't get like the the quests take longer, I'm skipping some of the mildly more dangerous stuff like catacombs. Oh my god, a level 32 just died.
Hobgoblins had only recently tunneled in.
To a summoned topiary lion. Is that Tower of Frost? It looks like Ice Mount Lodge. Damn, dude. Died in the last few hours? Yeah, 2 people have died today at level cap. That's crazy. There's a 31 that died in Make Believe, or sorry, Wake Me Up Inside. And that person. Damn, dude. I do a Topiary Lion. The Topiary Lions in Feywild are all orange names. They can be quite dangerous. They just knock you down, and then it's usually not them that kills you, it's the Topiary Nymphs that kill you. Died early in the morning. Really? I mean, we did have. I have had one person die in my parties.
Just brilliant content today with the solo fighter. You know what's more brillianter? Solo Slayers no pot.
Oh, Solo Slayers no pot. Yeah, big fan. You also noticed, and I did this unconsciously, so I didn't talk about it. Usually I would explain it. Where I stood, see all these blades? The reason why I stood specifically here, I like inched in and used it from the highest distance, is because these traps are random. So this obviously would have been really dangerous if I was just standing in there. So as I said, go to the center of the door, and you're all good.
You approach Zikir as he charges you. Zikir drops to the ground. You hear a
Give me your key, Zikir. Windmill Quest would be the summon variant. Maybe they got knocked down by the windmill? Die improves the poison your acid traps is in your group today? Oof. Roof is in the poison. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna solo fighter my way all the way up to the level cap. I really hope I don't die, because that would be like, especially now at this point where I'm already level 24. Oh man, could you imagine dying now? Just eating it? So embarrassing. Same game plan as Heroics. Just go, run in the room, kill the bad guy. Getting surrounded by monsters? Don't worry, just AoE him down. He's in the fighter. Oop, he's dead. Grab this, and recall. If I can't recall out of here, I can just run away. No, no. Ah, yes. No. Yes. Okay, we're good. But I could have just walked away. So if you're worried about your safety, just walk away from that distance. How much time do I got left on the guy? 3 minutes. Do I have another Breck in my inventory? No, this is my one Breck with 2 minutes left on it. Okay, I actually need Breck because I need him for Crucible. Also, behind here, there's another note for an extra 2308 XP. Don't give up on that XP, guys. It's good.
So many years ago. The
Yeah, sometimes you need to add up some spice in your adventures. Exciting, then dangerous. Then exciting, then dangerous. Then exciting, then dangerous.
He brought me back, drenched in.
These ruins have long been inhabited by this fraction.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of doing a solo fighter Slayers, because I could, and it would go fine. It would just be very boring. Important note that when you do Slayers, it's better done with a group because people can spread out. On top of that, it's also better done with a group because the amount of monsters that spawn in epic Slayers is based on the number of players in the party. So if you have 4 people or more, you get the maximum spawn rate, so there's more monsters. And then if everyone goes a different direction, you're all AoE characters, it goes staggeringly fast, which is why people do Slayers and why I don't ever recommend doing them by yourself. Do them in a group. Having 4 people going in different directions is 4 times faster, plus the 4 times spawn rate makes it 16 times faster doing a group versus by yourself. So if you're wondering why people do Slayers and how they do it, that's how they do it. What is a fighter? It's a person who fights. So you'll have a fighter is somebody who gets out there and they're fighting. They're fighting as the best they can. You got to get there. They got to fight. And there's other people who you know, don't want to fight. So maybe like there's shamans over here, like this lore master. Well, he's not as good at fighting as I am. I'm much better at fighting. So I'm gonna go fight him. You can even say it's fighter-ing. But fighter is one of the base classes in Dungeons & Dragons Online. There are 15 classes total, and 12 of them are included in the base game. The ones not included are Artificer, Favored Soul, and Alchemist, I think. It's just misspelled. Oh, did I write Foider somewhere? I probably did. Oh, proofreading is too hard. Yeah, it's just a typo. Oh, it actually doesn't show up in the video, so for the recording, it doesn't show up on screen. I don't need to worry about fixing it. Get this party started. Let's get this party. It's already been started, though. It started like hours ago, man. Where were you? You already handed out cake. That's how it works. You hand it out. Hey, you've already handed out the cake, man. Where were you? Party's over. Nah, I can't start it up. Everyone go home. Everyone go home. Party's over. Oh. So many monsters in these rooms. God, if only I could do this faster. Wait, you beat Dominus? Oh my god. Doesn't have Raised Dead or Resurrection loaded is amazing. The amount of pugs not being raised is quite fun. Oh yeah, because it's an easy expectation. I mean, most of the cleric level 5 spells are complete garbage. So there's no reason to take any other spells. It's like Slay Living, Flame Strike, and now I'm out of good spells. All the rest of them are bad. So you pretty much should have Raised Dead on some level. But also, that's when you just type in, I'm a battle cleric. Hey dude, where's the heal? Where's the raise? I'm a battle cleric, dude. I don't heal. Yeah. Same with Druid level 5 spells. I don't know what it is. Level 5 spells, pretty much across the board, are bad. Very weird. What class has good level 5 spells? Alchemist has very good level 5 spells. Bard level 5s just suck. Cleric, Favored Soul, Wizard, Sorcerer, bad. Druid, bad. I'm a battle cleric and I don't heal. I'm a battle cleric. Classic. Classic users. Yeah. Warlock spells don't need to be good because Warlock just has the old blasty thing. Dominus was easy? Interesting. Wait, what skill did you take from Siosa? Are you saving it? Oh, right, you're a Vortex build. Do you want me to save anything for you, if I find it? Warlock spells are good, but you don't need them. So, it's not like when you get to the level where you get the next Warlock spell, you care. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm gonna keep all the... So when I find an efficacy skill gem, I'm gonna keep it for myself, even though I can't use it. And when I get Cold Snap as well, I'm gonna keep it, because obviously you said you don't need it. Oh, dude! I got that kill, and it gave us Guild Round for 68. Let's go! Efficacy is a support, yeah. It's one of the really good ones for the build you're playing. Like Planic Blast is bad and used by players, but trucks when cast by mobs? Yes, because it does a small amount of damage, and players have way less health than monsters do. When a monster has 600 hit points and you have 200, Cyclonic Blasting the monster for 100 is not a big deal, but the monster Cyclonic Blasting you for 100 is a huge deal. No, I'm not saying I'm going to pull it out of the library. I'm saying if I find one on the ground. Like if I'm playing the game and I kill a monster and it just pops out. Blood spurting everywhere and the gem pops out of their chest. Yes, monsters move their faces, like the hobgoblins. They open and close their mouths when they cast spells, yes. You never noticed that? Interesting. Yeah, look at his mouth move. He's like, rah, 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 rah. They move their mouths all the time. Look at them. See? I'm shocked that you didn't know that. Apparently there's somebody at my door, ringing my doorbell. I think my roommate is here. I think she's... Yeah, she's in the shower. So I have to go get the door. But I gotta finish this fight first. Oh, it takes so long. There we go. And then vocalize lets you cast spells with verbal components. Yeah, and that's why they have silent spell in 3.5. That lets you do the same thing. Okay, so now let's do Crucible. Crucible is exactly the same as the Heroic Crucible, but longer? This should be fun. Still a fighter made it to epics? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna have tons of videos to watch. I just have to upload them onto the computer. It turns out that's actually not that hard to do. We'll get there. Go bit by bit, piece by piece, taking it as we go, day by day, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. As I said, I'm gonna be picking up these things as I go. 4616. The XP. Alright. So, as I said, Crucible, how do you do this? Unfortunately for me, I don't have a diplomacy roll high enough to actually do this. This is the only one you need. Because if you can get the diplomacy roll, you can give the map to the orc, and then that's it. It says bluff check on it, you don't actually need the check. And that's helpful for just dealing with the one swimming part. Oh no, my hireling's gone. I can't do this without a hireling. I actually need one, which means I have to town to go get one, which means I'm an idiot. So I have to go to town to get one. Well, I have to restart this again. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna... Oh no, I am already doing that. I can't control it. Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna go out into Ravenloft real quick and just kill some guys and get some XP so I can level up. And then I'm going to get a new hireling, and then I'm going to go back and do Gianthold. I'll die in Slayers again? I won't die in Slayers again. I'm going to kill some bad guys. Alright, let's go. What's going on over here? Any monsters? Any monsters? There's bats. Come here, bats. I said, the benefit of doing these things in epics is that if you have more players, there's a higher density of monsters that you fight and you go around places. And obviously, there's a lower density when you have fewer players, like when I'm by myself. Rats, get them out of here. Okay, that's 8 monsters killed. There's a note right here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Beautiful. I like how I was like, I'm not going to do Slayers, and then I immediately go do Slayers. Only 8,000 XP away, though.
Whenever I wandered too far away from his side.
Only 5,000 XP away.
He was afraid.
Come here, Varg Wheels. 9 more monsters, and then I can move on. Are you cycling through the dialogue options so fast? You can keybind that. So go to key mapping. All the way to the bottom is the choices. So I just keybind choice 1, which is almost what you press all the time, and I just mash that key on the keyboard. All these dead crows and there's scarecrows standing over top of them. Sick bastards. That's a neat trick. Yes. Fight me, Vargwheels. Oh, there we go. Level up. The mouse wheel button, push left. Yeah, it's not a bad idea either. Yeah, I know I can't. I'm too strong. Hey. Sometimes slayers will get you. You gotta be careful. The monsters can pop out of nowhere and just completely blow you up. Gotta be careful. Escape set to push right. Gives me through a lot of stuff fast. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, on my mouse, I've rebound. One of the buttons on my mouse is shift, which is very convenient when I need to press like a shift key. So for example, if I'm moving and I want to press like shift 3, so like right here is like weapon swap, shift 2. If I'm moving and trying to press shift and something else, this hand is doing a lot. So by getting shift onto my mouse button, it's a lot nicer. All right, I would like to advance next level, please. 25, and I'm going to take, according to my feat list that I wrote for myself earlier, Tactician. Sounds good. +2 to my tactic DCs. It's going to give me some more hit chance as well. And I believe I had a ring for some more hit points. Oh, yeah. I need a hireling. Come on, brain. Buy the hirelings. And now I can get one of the real ones, the actual healing characters. So I'm going to buy a bunch of hirelings here because they're very useful to just stuff away in the inventory, and you never know when you're going to need them. Talk to Tollbard and take the Epic Cleric hirelings, specifically Garrett the Sainted. Garrett is not the best. However, he's very far from the worst, and one of the things I do like about him is that it actually heals. Because it's not trying to use Epic Destiny abilities that aren't in the game anymore, it'll actually press the healing keys. The problem is, it'll cast Mass Heal, which is really stupid and useless, but whatever, it is what it is. Also, the level 25, 27, and 30 hirelings have way more hit points, which is nice. Also, you guys are talking about Windows and stuff? I have no clue. I am not a technological expert. Made 9 rings for the leaders of the countries and a monthly shock that's not an onion thing. Isn't it a Lord of the Rings thing? Are you sure it isn't another parody website? Here, I'm doing something very important. This Christmas, I have Christmas baked goods to eat. Specifically, I'm going to show this off because I'm excited. I have this Christmas baked good. Look at it. It's a cat. Kitty cat. Isn't that cute? Oh, yeah. That's a good face. When I get to 26, I think I'm going to transition out of Fatesinger. I'm not sure. The thing is, Fatesinger does so much damage. I might just keep it. I don't know. Like, the extra sonic damage you get per hit from Sword Sings is kind of crazy. Like, I like Legendary Dreadnought, but come on. All right. Third time's the charm. He has 1,300 hit points. I hope Garrett's able to stay alive in here.
And mocking laughter from the veterans of the storm.
Because at 1,300 hit points, he should be pretty good.
Jorgundal, the commander of the Storm's Fist, sneers at you.
Cool. Cookies. I have a bunch of cookies. I'm going to eat them. All holiday stuff. Yeah, this quest is something that, like, I know a lot of people get upset about because it can stress them out. I like the Crucible. My favorite type of cookie? Do I like a good chocolate chip? And I also like shortbread. Those are my two tied top cookies. I'm not talking about, like, oh, like oatmeal chocolate chip. Oatmeal chocolate chip is a good cookie. And I do like it. But like a classic chocolate chip versus a classic shortbread. Shortbread's very good. Remember when I was a stupid, dumb, idiot kid when I was younger? And I was like, yeah, shortbread. It's like really dry. I don't really like shortbread. You know, it's really dry and grainy. And then when I got older, I realized I was an idiot. And shortbread is pretty much exclusively butter, which is what makes it taste so tasty. And then I should feel ashamed of myself. So, you know, it is what it is. Nobody's perfect, especially not me. This is something I've learned in my time being alive and being me. All right, here we go. Now, we go here. Tell Garrett to pull the valve. Then, for whatever reason, he's going to run to me, which is very annoying. So instead, I tell him to pull the valve again, grab the crest of the snake, and jump through this door. That way, I have the crest of the snake, and I don't have to deal with Garrett running around and doing dumb nonsense. So he's probably going to be standing somewhere nowhere near the actual thing I want him to stand near, but that's okay. As I said before, I'm just getting Garrett to pull the things, pull the levers, which makes it a lot easier. Yeah, he's standing over here. But his flag is here. Why, Garrett? Why? Oh no, they got Moomin Rider. Rip. Danish cookies come in a metal tin. Yeah, I know what cookies you're talking about, although I don't know what cookies you're talking about. Okay, now same thing. What level is he? Oh, 5. Died to a trap at level 5. Same thing. Get the thing pulled. And then I'm going to get him to pull it, and then run through again, same thing, and I'm done. Nice and easy. Nope. Hey, he's your cousin. I'm not gonna say anything. Still, level 5, dying to a trap. It always happens. Happens to the best of us. Everyone's died to a trap on Hardcore League at some point. You'll never know the joy of Anzac cookies with a cold glass of milk? Probably. I assume that's a regional specialty, the delicious Anzac cookie. Same thing. Grab the Horn of Cunning and jump. That way, you don't have to deal with any of the traps. So you want to grab it and jump. By grab it and jump, I mean, like, click it so you have it targeted, and then jump, and then once you press the jump key to be in the air, then click the use button, whatever that's bound to. For me, it's U. So you can pick up the thing and not get to any stuff. Send cookies from Canada to the US. Yes, people have sent care packages across the border. You can send all sorts of stuff through the mail system. Whether you should or not is entirely a different story, but yeah. I'm sure you can. And I'm going to use this slow water to eat this cookie. I'm gonna wait for my hamstring to go away, because every monster in the entire game uses hamstrings. Yeah, but I'm sure you can ship stuff. I think it depends on like the nature of how it's packaged. Right. Because commercial goods obviously go across the border. So foodstuffs.
The horn of agility.
So I'm sure you can send non-commercial foodstuffs across the border. I just don't know how to do it. I think it's one of those things you just kind of Google. You don't want the swarm of live raccoons? Why not? Live raccoons are cool. You can build an army out of them. Convince them to kill for your bidding. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Alright, good. Now you want to go from... Oh, why crippling hit? Why? I think I can purge the crippling hit, actually. No, I can't. You want to go from monster to monster. Because the monsters, wherever they stand, is safe. Monster to monster. Got it. I'm free! That is a challenge.
You approach a prominent book on a lectern
Anyway.
surrounded by 6 numbered doorways.
Garrett, stop dying. Please.
The test of instinct has reset.
Like so. I'm just going to keep jumping backwards and pulling the same thing.
The test of instinct
During
has
World
reset.
War One. I don't know much about World War One. Tell you what,
The test of instinct.
I'm not very familiar with Anzac cookies. Not gonna figure out the riddle. You with my 16 wisdom? No.
The test
I'm just gonna keep ripping it until eventually I'll get it.
reset.
Also, for some reason, Garrett's actually listening to me, which is very bizarre. Okay, cool. I'm basically done now, which is nice. Almost all the hard parts are done. Or like the ones that are inconsistent. So now I have to go after the Elementalists first. The Elementalists cast the cloud spells that cause you to slip. And I need to kill them as quickly as possible so I don't slip around on the ground. Also, Soul Howlers are dangerous because they cast actual dangerous stuff. That's what sucks. Oh, Sleet Storms. Come on, dude. Okay, Greater Command, because I don't have things that get rid of Greater Command. Ooh, okay. I don't have Protection from Evil. The fact that I'm always hamstrung is very, very annoying. I really hate always being hamstrung. It's like, if only there was like a save against it or something, then it wouldn't feel so bad, but it's like so soul destroying. There's no save, you just get hamstrung and you're stuck. I gotta buy more potions of Protection from Evil. So after this quest, I'm gonna go buy some more. I don't want to get Greater Commanded again. I don't have a good way to prevent myself from being affected by Greater Command, so... Get close to the Elementalist as fast as I can and kill it. And we're good. Reflex, Fortitude save, I don't know. Like, that's the third hamstrung in, like, the 1 second, because they just cast it so many times. Die, please. If you're a ranged character, by the way, you can just stand at the door and shoot everybody, which is very convenient. As a melee character, I don't stand at the door and shoot everybody. Very annoying. Maybe I should work on that. Alright, let's go.
7 signal crystals above
So it is
the
red 1, green 3, blue 5. There's green 3, so 1, 2, 3. Red 1, green 3, blue 5. There's blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You kind of bank on getting a 0 because 0 means that you don't have to turn it, which just saves you time on running from one spot to the next. But I have enough time. You have 60 seconds, by the way, to go run and do that. You gotta go quick. Quick, like a bunny. Hop, skip, and jump your way towards the exit. And pull everything. Get out of here, bastards. Destroyed. Destroyed. This? Plus 1 all ability scores and saves? Open this so I can get myself back up here. And then it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Crucible Swim. A part of the quest that I find leisurely. As I just stroll through here, I'm gonna be like, oh, let's go left and then right and then right and then left and then right and then left and then right and then left and then middle and then left and then it's up and then down and then up and then left, and it's so easy. Very hard for most people, and most people die, but you know, just do it a billion times and apparently it becomes a lot easier. It's really the secret to most things in DDO. It's like, well, how do you do it? Just do it 100 times. The trinket isn't from Catacomb. Well, there might be a trinket that has the spell on it, but there is actually a trinket that gives you protection from evil from the quest. It's an unbound trinket from, what's that quest called? Church in the Cult. Church in the Cult has the Shard of the Silver Flame. It is a trinket that just gives you protection from evil. It's a passive. Yeah, but if you swim, it goes faster. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Just preemptively drink a potion, just in case. Go up to make sure I'm high at the right height. Grab the rubble on my way out. Heard of a YouTuber that got sent a banana by a video game company from US to Canada. I guess they were sending it to content creators as a meme. And he didn't know what it was, so he had to pay custom fees and receive a rotten overripe banana. Hilarious. Yeah. Shard of the Silver Flame. It comes from the Church and the Cult. Also, remember how, like a week ago, I bit my tongue a bunch and I couldn't figure out why? Well, now, I bit the inside of my cheek, and now the inside of my cheek is swollen. So I'm consistently biting the inside of my cheek, and it's awesome. It's just awesome. Oh. I'm going. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Gotcha. Get him out of here. Actually, I don't think I have Seeker on this character at all. I kind of love just like being surrounded by like 100 monsters and just cleaving through all of them. It's one of the reasons why I really like taking a strike through. It just feels satisfying to just chunk down every monster at the same time. Now, next quest is Madstone Crater, which is not my favorite, but it is a quest I gotta do.
Long month Strim health.
Oh my god. Sukai, welcome back to the stream team for not 1, but almost 2 years. That's right, dude. Almost 2 years. It's not quite. 2 years in January. What a ride, young man. What a ride. Could you imagine being alive for 2 years and watching content for 2... Just imagine it. I can't. So, thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Acid Well does take care of all of it, yeah. I don't know, so it cut your tongue every time you move it. Probably couldn't eat properly for a week. Oh, man.
Shit, son, it's prime sub time. Whoa, lo, 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 lo.
I get this now. The Wolo thing is an Age of Empires reference? Yes? Wolo, lo, lo, lo? I think. Got it. I don't play Age of Empires because it's like one of them nerd video games with nerd stuff. Also, I'm taking like 1,000,000 damage. Oh my gosh. These monsters actually don't mess around. These are dangerous. And Garrett is like really helping me out here. Thanks, bud.
Oh my god, he's learning, he's becoming sentient.
Not quite, no. I wish. I'm still just an artificial construct of your imagination, Goro. I'm not real. This whole Twitch channel is not even real. You're just by yourself in your room, staring at an empty monitor screen, pretending that there's something there, that I'm actually here. But I'm not. You need to wake up. You get to the real world, Goro. You need to get to the real world. It's not real. None of it's real. Ah! Exactly. Whoopsie daisy. Not again. Don't you hate it when the entire fabric of reality unravels inside your mind and you realize it's all fake and made up? No. No, I didn't escape the simulation. I'm in the I am the simulation. If you can watch my live stream right now, by the way, you're in the simulation. Just straight up. I don't have the mental fortitude to escape the simulation. So if you can see this right now, you're in the simulation with me.
How can reality be real if our eyes are not real?
You can check by looking in the mirror. Yeah. Who said you'll have to feed him named items? Some people do feed me named items. Freedom. Good old Jaden Smith giving us all the information we needed. All right, now I'm going to go to Madstone Crater, and I don't want to do Madstone Crater, but I have no choice but to do Madstone Crater. I hate Madstone Crater. I don't want to do Madstone Crater. I'll have a higher link, so it'll make Madstone Crater a lot easier. I want to do Madstone Crater. Why not just skip it? Because it's for the saga. And also I needed to unlock the final quest here in Gianthold. What if I want to do the Fall of Truth on Hardcore League? If I want to do Fall of Truth on Hardcore League, I gotta unlock it by doing everything. That's not as fun, because it's just waiting simulator. You just gotta wait 30 minutes.
Hey Strim, how the time flies. Here's a message to commemorate this occasion. Strim hot dew plus Strim wolfipede head Strim wolfipede legs 2 Strim wolfipede legs 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 Strim wolfipede legs 2 Strim wolfipede dumpy equals Voodus fireball Voodus fireball Voodus fireball.
See, some people might think that would bother me. The benefit of that little ditty, little play along, is I can eat this cookie without having to say anything. It's perfect. It works for everyone. To quote my good friends at IGN, there's a little bit of something for everyone. Protection from evil. It's crazy to think that this level 1 potion stops spells cast by like legendary monsters because it's greater command. Amazing. Okay, there we go. I set up my stuff. So it's clicky, potion, spell, potion, clicky, and everything should be off cooldown when I use it. What difference is between shortbread cookies and butter cookies? I don't know. I'm not a cookieologist. I literally have no clue. I couldn't tell you. I'm not even familiar with the term butter cookie. They could be the same thing. It could just be a regional name for it. Some people may call it a shortbread, and some people may call it a butter cookie. It's the layers of butter that make the shortbread so good. Lost power midstream. Thank God you still got your quest completion. It always sucks. Yep, it definitely sucks to lose power. Especially in the wintertime, somewhere like here, where right now it's minus like 11 outside. So losing power means the house starts to get cold pretty fast. And that's not ideal. Ideally, you want to hold on to your power for at least a little bit. It's raining? Yeah, it's not raining here. It's snowing. I don't think it's still snowing. It might still be snowing. I have to go out and do some shoveling later. Retail would not keep butter cookie tins in stock during Christmas. Yeah, because they're good.
This is
You know what's tasty? Butter. It's like, it's the margarine conversation, right? So, and I think we've talked about this before, but margarine isn't a bad product. It's perfectly acceptable. it is a product that people use. It's a fat, so it can be a substitute for butter in many different recipes. But the important thing is that it is not butter. It does not taste the same as butter. It doesn't have the same flavor, and doesn't do the same things to your food. It's similar, but it's just not the same flavor. It's not bad. It's perfectly fine. It's just not the same. Also, these monsters hit really hard. Oh my god. Also, this guy made his saving us my 89 stunning shield. Oh my god. Did they like juice Gianthold or something? What happened? I guess I'll come back and do this section later.
My mom always told me to color in between the margarines.
That's not exactly what that means.
Beneath the crater,
But that is funny.
intense heat wells up from the floor.
Here's a generally contain more sugar and baked higher temperature, shortbread contain a higher fat content, which yields a more melt in your mouth texture. Oh, there you go. Wikipedia to the rescue. Yeah, usually if I don't look up something on Wikipedia, just because I'm like actively streaming and trying to do a thing.
There are no signs of a spellcaster.
Color in between the margarines. Margarines. Also, I disable heal mass, so then he won't use heal mass. You just right click on the spell and be like, don't cast this, please. And he's like, ah, okay, I guess. You may want to cast it, but not today.
And beyond, a living giant bellows in
Yeah, Garrett the Sainted, man. He's just doing a great job. Once I got to 25, oh, and fighting this now with having True Seeing is so much easier than before I had True Seeing. BTS before True Seeing. Alright, let's go. It won't be that bad now, now that I think about it.
They protect the South Crystal.
Because they usually defer to my wife. Rid of money to open a bacon store and let her have at it. Yeah. Also, bakeries are really complicated because you need to be very active in your community, because you don't want to just be like, you can just like open up the bakery and hope that it works for itself. You got to get involved with people. You know, you probably got to reach out to people on Instagram and all sorts of other places and be like, hey, you should, you know, I'd love to cater your wedding or do an event or make something. You probably can't just like, especially now today's day and age, just like open a bakery and expect it to do well. You'd need a fantastic product or good community outreach. One of the two. But you need something. Probably can't just do it on merit alone. Baked good. It's a good bakery. Butter Believers would be a good name. Yeah, I can't believe it's not butter. I can. I believe the butter.
Seen from the crater floor lies ahead. A shimmering magic.
But to use Mass Heal seems like a weird decision. Well, so it's important to note that Mass Heal is a confusing spell. Because since its inception, it's been bad.
The seer stands before the southern crystal.
So it's kind of confusing.
Says the seer. The seer turns to you. I will start the ritual now.
Like, Mass Heal is definitely a confusing effect. Yeah, it's just really slow. Look at this. Get him. Do it. Oh, he can't because I told him not to. It's just not a good spell. If they made it 25% faster, it could be usable. But it's so slow. I also don't think Mass Heal would be overpowered. At a faster cast speed. But that's just my opinion, man. Looks like there's a chat room. It's all about networking. I mean, yeah, basically. It's all about networking, man. I mean, that's, to be fair, the majority of the entire universe is it's all about networking. I remember having this conversation with like engineers, and I was working in a sales company, and we used to do like we used to go to like job fairs and stuff. And I remember we went to a job fair at Queens, and so there's all these engineers, and I'm working in sales, and I'm like, hey, you should come work in sales. And you'd have all these like kids who are like, you know, engineering students and stuff, and they're like, oh man, why would I ever like, you know, like why would I ever want to work in sales? I'm like, because you need to be able to sell products and ideas. Like, think about it like this. I'm like, you want to design stuff, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with it once you design it? They're like, oh, you know, like, does Editor like work at a company or something? I'm like, yeah, but what if you want to come up with something new? They're like, I'm like, do you have an idea for something new? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. How are you going to sell that? How are you going to market that? That's a good skill to have. Starting out with a foundation in sales will help you in the future to understand the whole business market. Didn't work. They walked away. But they listened to me for long enough before they walked away. But I tried my best. It was tough.
Almost done, the seer screams.
If you don't want to do it, then why do it?
Much longer.
But the opening up a bacon store or understanding how to sell? Use mass heal on your healers. Usually just burst channel divinity. Yes, mass heal is bad. You shouldn't have it. Don't even take mass heal. Yeah. Thinking about getting a loan opening a bacon store in the upcoming year? Do it. If you think it's a good business decision, then go for it. Also, obviously, before you do that, go like consult a financial advisor about the concept, the issues of like running your own business. But then, if it works, then yeah, do it, man. Friggin' sling muffins in the back of a van. Get like a baked goods vehicle. You just drive around, sling muffins out the back of a van. Hell yeah, that sounds great. Also, goodbye, Vithis. Rip.
It is near, I am sure.
So many dead. Ceres died, Vithis died, Death Runs died. So much death. Yeah, here I am alive. Custom Robo Lightning Sky. Someday, you know what I should do? I should just like play Custom Robo on stream. It's like obscure Nintendo GameCube game. It's a good game. Fairy died? I don't think Fairy died. Not Bomberman 64. Well, I would play Bomberman Hero. It has a better soundtrack. Bomberman 64 is a very okay game. It's like not a bad game, but it's also like, you know, it's missing some elements of execution. Let's just say that. Bomberman 64, The Second Attack, which is the sequel, is a significantly better game. 8 entirely full worlds with different secrets and stuff layered about. It's also 2-player, so you can get somebody to control your companion Pommy, who has a whole upgrade line, all the different bombs and bomb types and things you can do. What a more diverse game. And then you have Bomberman Hero, which has some of the best music on the Nintendo 64. So, you know, you got to make those decisions. Which is the Bomberman that you play? It's important to note that the only returning character from Bomberman 64, because Bomberman's in it, and then there's a bunch of other characters, was Bullzeeb. Bullzeeb being a fan favorite, apparently, up from the video game. When they made the second one, Bullzeeb shows up again. And in the first game, Bullzeeb is revealed to be like, you know, this basically hardened warrior who ends up working for the bad guy, but turns it around by the end of Bomberman 64. And the 64 Second Attack, again, you run into Bullzeeb doing bad things. Turns out, same deal. He's turns by the end, so he's not a bad guy. You're like, yeah, but he's not a good guy either. He's like an anti-hero. So people are like, yeah, this character. But it's this Nintendo 64 game, so there's not a lot of text or anything interesting going on for the most part.
I do the ritual. You keep me safe.
Fantastic. It was such a fantastic yet terrible game. I really like it. The only issues I really had with the Custom Robo is there was a lot of very abrupt difficulty spikes in the game, where like out of nowhere it gets like really hard really fast. Especially the final couple boss fights are really hard. And then the story is very interesting in that game. It doesn't take the turn you think it's going to. What's up, Johnny Hunt? I agree. I am also curious to know like what that conversation was like when they greenlit Custom Robo, but man. You're like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's like this story about like, you know, people have these little battle arenas and they have robots and they fight each other. And it's like, oh cool. Sounds good. Sounds like it could be a cool game. And it's like, yeah. And it very, very quickly turns into like really fast Eldritch horror. Really fast, out of nowhere. And there's like a lot of violence. And you're like, wait, this is a game for children? And the music is so calm. It's like, what? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, it's got a good story. I love the twists and turns. Have you heard of a bug where the audio nihilo direct causes client crashes? Yes, it's a very common crash. As far as I understand, the Sandstone game staff don't know what causes it because it doesn't happen on any of their hardware. So they are looking for continued bug reports. So if that happens to you, they want people to bug report it so that way they can get it solved. Because as I said, it doesn't. My understanding is it doesn't happen to any of them on any of their machinery or hardware.
Almost done, the seer screams. Not much longer.
I gotta say, with nothing charging up the sides, this is a lot easier. I don't know why nothing charged. Usually, like, the Minotaurs come out of there and there, they at least come up, but they're, like, chilling. They're just hanging out down there. They never aggroed, which is really weird. Oh well, I'll take it. It's not the worst. I don't mind when I have less to do. I can spend more time talking about custom robo. Are we done yet? Wait, how did he not get stunned? Stuns for 1 second for each Fate of Discord consumed, but it didn't consume my Words of Fate. Yeah, just submit a ticket about it.
The caster of the spell.
Like I said, it's just, I know that that's a problem multiple people have. My understanding is it's something to do with the Raptors. That the Raptors have like a sound file that loads and crashes people. It's the reason why it also happens there as well. When people bought the expansion pack with the big one and they got the Raptor pets. And then they summon the Raptor pet and it randomly crashes them. We did some testing. And it's real. I just don't know the cause because I'm not a computer doctor.
The tunnel rises ahead, winding up the crater's edge.
Alright, get him out of here. Bastards. I need a shrine real bad. I'm really worried about fighting these 4 skeletons just up the road here. Maybe I should have saved my stun for then. I'll probably be okay.
Footsteps, dry as rattling bones.
1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. I guess it doesn't matter when Blade of Discord just hits so good. I think I'm just gonna keep as Fatesinger for the rest of this time. I think Fatesinger is just too good. Like, I was thinking about maybe swapping over, but the mantle is really powerful. The stuns are great. The extra damage I get on everything, so monsters I can't stun, is really useful. Just like an extra burst of 1600 on a hit. And I'm not going to get that out of Legendary Dreadnought. Not till tier 5 anyway. The tier 5 is really good. But even then, I can just use Cut the Strings. I believe Cut the Strings scales off of Strength. Yeah, I can cut the strings with my Strength. Which is kind of cool.
Time we ended this outrage.
Wait for real computer doctors? Like, computer doctors as in people who are doctors but for computers? Or doctors that are computers? Where, like, you go to the doctor and then you're like, hey, doc, I got these problems. And then the computer, like, jams a bunch of needles into you and takes some blood and some bone marrow and some eyeball fluid. And just takes all of that and does a quick scan of your levels compared to the last time you went to visit the computer doctor. And then it goes, oh, well, this thing is up by exactly this percentage, down by this percentage, down by this percentage, which means you must have these exact issues, which means these are your exact problems. And you're done. You have a bunch of holes in your body, so that would be a problem, but yeah. Nothing is perfect. Every time, you know, there's always some kinks in some systems.
To the crater's northern slope.
It's one of the reasons why, like, a more complicated field is the thing that gets replaced quicker by machinery, because the more complicated field, there's a lot of room for error. And a properly calibrated machine is likely to make less errors than, like, a regular person. As an easy example is that, like, a human being can't be up to date on all of the research. So, like, if something changes about that they need to know, a human being might not know it that well. Do you think we'll get first? Full AI cards or full AI doctors allowed? Great question.
Across the bridge and up the cliff.
I think it depends on the world or where in the world it is. Like, that heavily influences whether I think it's going to happen sooner or later. Because there is a lot of flexibility based on where you live to answer that question. So, like, I think in the States, there's probably more money in the cars. So I think cars are going to... Well, the problem is it's manufacturers, right? So anyone that wants to manufacture a fully AI-driven car has to fight against the classic auto industry. And the classic auto industry has their hands in the pockets of a lot of different governments. So it'll be a little bit difficult for that type of transition to happen. Whereas fully AI doctors, it's kind of just better for the hospitals because it's less expensive for them, in theory. I don't know where the competition is, other than, like, human beings. So I think in terms of, like, how close we are to implementation, I think we're a lot closer to, like, AI driving than we are to AI doctors in terms of implementation. But in terms of, like, sustained use, I think it will take a lot longer for AI vehicles to be used more heavily on the road because of conflicting existing business interests versus AI software for, like, healthcare, which would just be better healthcare. So it would be beneficial for them to have it. Manage medical practices? Oh yeah, 100%. It's just, again, I think about the implementation of such a thing.
The seer calls out, keep them at bay.
Seems Fighter pretty good now. Yeah, Fighter's great. Big fan. Garrett, where are you heading? Come here. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna put Garrett on passive. Fighter good. Advanced algorithm driving a car more than people. People are morons. Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, I don't understand why people would be upset about the idea of, like, an AI driving a car, in the sense that, have you seen people actually drive cars? People are maniacs on the road. Like, if you drive, if you have ever driven at any point, you've probably had the experience where somebody does something on the road that is just completely baffling to you. They're in the left lane, but they got the right turning signal on, or they, or just the amount of people that just drive around and never signal at any point because they don't need to signal their intentions, right? It's just one of those things where, like, if you've ever driven on the road, there are idiots everywhere, all over the place. So a machine is likely to be less stupid than 80% of the people driving on the road, right?
Hey,
myself
Strim,
included.
Brian here.
But
What
when I
did
said
the
about
exclamation
implementation,
mark say to the question mark? Nice curves, but are you okay with that bump on your head? 7/8 asterisk asterisk 777.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think for me, it is the complication nature of its competing business interests. That's what matters more, right? So if anyone is going to be funding the idea that fully automated vehicles don't work, the people that are going to be fueling that fire are existing automotive makers who don't have that technology because they don't want people to change their buying habits, right? So like if Toyota doesn't have a self-driving vehicle or any type of like software like that, then Toyota is going to be directly invested in, they could invest in their own future and say, okay, well, maybe this is something we should develop as well. Or instead, they're going to go, okay, these algorithms shouldn't be allowed because they're unsafe, and they're going to do everything they can to prove that they're unsafe, which maybe they are. That's also a good idea because, you know, it's good to have people that are second-guessing and double-checking these things. But also, they're doing it for their own self-interest because, realistically, all they want to do is make sure that they're not losing their market share. So, versus, like I said, when it comes to the healthcare industry, it's a little bit more complicated because in the healthcare industry, efficiency is everything. Getting it done faster means you make more money because you can move more patients, right? Consider the fact that if you have a robot doctor, you can clear like 3 times the number of patients and have a 24-hour service. Right? It's able to scan faster, do things faster. Also, a lot of the times, like hospitals don't make money off of people sitting in beds. Hospitals make money off of charging people for services. So you charge people for the doctor for all the medications. How many more medications can you prescribe or send people home if you can actually see them all the time? One of the issues, especially with like a standard system in the that we have right now. You know, I live in Canada, and so we talk about like universal healthcare. It's a great system. You can go pretty much anywhere and see any doctor at 0 cost, which is fantastic. But one of the issues that that pops up also in places where you have to pay for it as well. Because a lot of people just can't afford that, so they have to go into like either a walk-in clinic or like emergency room. So something happens, you gotta go to the emergency room. They triage the emergency room and they use whatever resources they have available. Sometimes overnight you only have like a few doctors that are actually there because obviously you can make more money for the same amount of money during the day. Why are you going to be working overnight? So a lot of people will just like, you know, there's going to be fewer doctors there during those times. And so when that's actually the case, you know, you will have the situation where you have all these people waiting all night for something, and the end result is that you effectively have a screen for people that are not willing to wait to get whatever their issue looked at are going to be leaving without any type of adequate medical care, which is bad for the patients because it means they have some type of medical issue that they're not getting addressed, and it's bad for the hospitals because they're not able to push out any more business, right? It's bad for the pharmaceutical companies because nobody's getting any treatment. People are just walking away. So actually being able to see all of these people would matter. So I can see that being something that when it gets figured out would be adopted very quickly by comparison. Because again, it's competing business interests.
This is a place to avoid.
Yeah, texting and driving, road rage, cutting people off, serving all over the place, panicking over nothing, the list goes on. So I don't text and drive. When I drive, I don't own a car right now, but I used to drive every day. I don't text and drive. I really, really just, I hate the idea of like, you know, I get into a car accident and then I have to explain to somebody that it's because I sent a text being like K on my phone. You know what I mean? So I just don't text and drive. If I need to text or if I need to respond to a message, I'd either use the thing that's built into the car where you can just yell at it, or park the car and you know, go take care of that in another fashion. Because I don't like the idea of doing it. But I honestly don't know a single person that I've been in the car with in a very long time that hasn't touched their phone while driving. Like literally every car I get into with any person has, like they just touch their phone at some point. Even if it's not like, you know, they're on their phone staring at their phone, but you touch your phone at some point. You get a text. You want to change a song. You want to do something, and so you look at your phone screen instead of the road. It just happens everywhere. There may actually be some pushback if there's a fear that the price of service could drop. We're thinking about. Huh? What are you talking about, off meta? I don't understand. Can you explain that? I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean by the price of service could drop? So, to give you context, my name is Strimtom. I'm 30. In my lifetime, prices have only gone up ever. Prices never go down. When a company gets more efficient at making something, prices stay the same. Or they go up. Prices never go down. They literally never go down. I don't understand this nonsense of prices go down. They literally never go down. Prices have only gone up. So I wouldn't be worried about prices going up or prices, you know, going down, or like, well, now it's more efficient, it's easier, they can see more people. Yeah, they're not going to charge less, they're going to charge the same, because why would they charge less? People are already charging for it. If anything, then prices probably would go up. It's the video games in the late 80s? Great, that was before I was born.
Hey Strimtom 30, I can
This is going to make a really interesting section of the video. I might have to fast forward this section of the video.
Mark inverted exclamation mark inverted exclamation
Just because it's going to be kind of ugly in the YouTube video. So I'll probably fast forward these two quests.
Exclamation mark inverted exclamation mark inverted exclamation mark inverted.
Actually, I'm going to put a marker down so I can know that. Just skip these sections.
Mark inverted exclamation 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 mark inverted.
General greets death with a snarl.
They're like $90. Yeah, because the market hadn't stabilized. There was no market for commercial video games, right? Video games were a new form of home entertainment, so the market would obviously be all over the place because they don't know what they're supposed to be pricing for stuff, and not enough people are buying it because it's a niche product that they can charge effectively whatever they wanted at the time. When the market gets bigger and then they actually standardize the thing, then people start using it. Something like video games, which is now a, you know, international multi-billion-dollar industry. It's very different. That price that can be set up because it has to be standardized, because there has to be a standard because there's so many people buying it, versus the alternative. I'm not saying that prices can't fluctuate ever in any product, but in any even moderately figured out business, prices go up and they don't go down. And there's a large disruption in the market, but it wasn't a large disruption in the market. Like, it was a new market. It wasn't a large disruption in the market. Video games weren't a market before, and it became a new market, so people didn't know how to price it. DDO Toys R Us? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I'm just telling you, since I've been breathing oxygen, I can't think of a single time where prices have gone down for any measurable reason about any product. They just go up. Other than the example of, like, obviously prices go down when things are out of date. So like when you purchase a, you know, a 3-year-old console, the prices will be lower. But yeah, prices go up, dude. And then you might be like, yeah, but video games cost about the same, right? But due to inflation, their value has actually gone down because, you know, the value of the dollar has decreased, and yet it costs the same or whatever. So it's like, you would think that the price would rise to accommodate that. They'd go to $70 or $80, but yet they still cost the same. That's cool, but also the majority, or not majority, but a lot of people are also making the same amount because it turns out wages haven't risen at the same rate of inflation for many people. So sure, the prices technically haven't gone up. The prices of video games have technically gone down as inflation changes and the price stays the same, but the value of the dollar changes. But it doesn't matter for the average person because the amount of money they're taking home at the end of the day doesn't matter.
I see the terror of our history when I look upon this battlefield. Giants.
Gas prices do this all the time? Oh yeah, absolutely. Gas prices 100%. It's supply and demand. That's all it is. It's just supply and demand. It's just supply and demand. Nothing else. That's exactly why in 2021, you know, pretty much every major oil company and gas company reported record sales. In fact, Shell had its most profitable year ever. Yeah, because obviously it was supply and demand. Was it supply and demand, or were they price gouging? I can't remember. Was it price gouging? I think it was price gouging. I think that was that's it. It's price gouging, not supply and demand. I got it now. Oil companies just charge people a lot of money for no reason. Which isn't to say there weren't disruptions in the international gas markets. but there wasn't internet disruptions in every gas market, and prices changed by a lot. Yeah, then also technology is a place where supply and demand doesn't really work either, as somebody pointed out. There's a lot of systems that don't work based on supply and demand. So, you know, concert tickets, sure, supply and demand. It's an actual event. You need people to go there. There's a limit on how many you can sell and produce and make. That makes sense. But like if pretty much any tech company, if they can charge more, they're gonna. Why is this guy up here? Why am I up here? Doesn't guarantee high prices unless you're including scalpers? Yeah, exactly. Good point about XCOM. You bought XCOM 2, it was doing very bad, it was on sale 90% off. You bought XCOM was $70, now it's $9. I mean, but that's not supply and demand, it's just depreciation. Things lose value over time.
Hey, thought I'd share a recent review from the Oreo Cakester site as a follow-up from last time. Big fan of Oreo Cakesters, 100% 5 stars. I love eating these things. They don't taste bitter at all and I love to buy them every time I'm at the grocery store. Review by Strimtom Thomas, posted on the 12th of June 2022.
Wait a minute. The 12th of June 2020. First of all, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And second, why would I post that? And third, actually I have enough jump. I can do the jump over the wall thing. I'm going to do that. Why would somebody say they're not bitter at all as their like preferred way to talk about the flavor? To be like, I love these. They're not bitter at all. Why would you even bring it up if it's bitter? Like if it's not bitter, you wouldn't bring it up. Widget is a product that is not necessary for survival and has alternatives. Things like gas don't have an alternative, so they aren't widgets, and the natural laws don't apply to the same. Anyway, all I know is prices go up, and prices never go down. We don't live in like a point of like, you know, around the Industrial Revolution where they're discovering new methods of building things faster and more efficient and cheaply. There are some things where things are made more cheaply, but the profits don't go the same way. So like the best example I can give you is like agriculture. So it should be a mystery to no one that there are fewer people working in agriculture than there were before, because as it turns out, having big expensive machinery to do a ton of the work is really good. Now, granted, there obviously are still a lot of people that work in agriculture, but the percentage of the population is way, way, way down. So, but do food prices go down? And the answer is not usually. It's the cost of labor goes down. It's less expensive to manufacture the same amount of food because you're paying this fewer amount of people, but then you can just charge the same. So the cost doesn't have to go onto the customer. It's just fewer people making the same amount of food, selling it for a similar amount. But important note, I'm not an economist. I'm just somebody who has grown up knowing or seeing that prices go up and prices don't go down. I'd love to be wrong. That'd be awesome, dude. I hate when prices go up. I don't want to buy things that are expensive. They should get less expensive sometimes, but they never do. Stop charging, everybody. Stop charging. Yeah, he's talking about the difference between like the price of the yeah, like the price you pay at the pump is not the same thing as like the price of another product. Like gas prices fluctuating is a different thing. But anyway, prices. Why do we even get on this topic anyway? Something about like, oh yeah, because they're talking about conflicting interests. Anyway, my point is, I think that if there was an automation of the medical industry It would lead to increased prices, not decreased prices. I don't think anyone would avoid automating something because they are worried that the costs are going to go down. Let me just ask you something, okay? Here we go. Let me ask you something. Automation. So, all around the world, there are tons and tons of stores, at least in Canada, probably North America, that have self-checkouts now. So instead of going to the store and you see another human being and you say, hey, human being, I'd like to buy some things. And they go, oh, hey, what's up, fellow human being? You can buy some things here. Just give me the things and I will scan them and bag them and put them away for you. Now there are self-checkouts. So all of those labor costs just went away. So people are scanning their own goods and they don't pay for the people who are doing those jobs. So obviously the price should go down. But prices don't go down. The company being able to save money does not mean prices go down. That's not how that works. Try to press the release button. Something's wrong with you. Release. Let's just bring up the part that would cause prices to drop. I mean, sure. Like I said, I just don't believe it's going to happen. They're already paying those prices to make more profit. That's just it. Yeah. Just give yourself better margins. As I said, I would love to live in a world where prices go down of products that I would consume as a general consumer. It's just not a thing that happens, so I don't see it. But it would be very cool. And who knows? Maybe in my lifetime that'll happen. $0.35 a gallon when you started driving. There you go. Anyway, important note, I'm not an economics guy. I'm just the type of guy that looks at prices of things. So, yeah. How companies feel good about Tesla forcing them to change? Huh? What are you talking about?
The door opens. Beyond it lies a magical barrier blocks entry into the chamber, marked with the symbol of Detour.
Oh, I don't drive, so I don't have to deal with gas prices at all. It's the best. I love not driving.
Is the symbol for the
My friends complain about the price of gas.
Below
Ugh,
it is a switch,
it sucks.
and there is
Oh, the price of gas. It sounds so bad.
some kind of
I'm just a homebody, and I don't go anywhere or do anything. It's even better. For YouTube? Yeah, I do.
The chamber has been ruined beyond repair.
It's gonna go up tomorrow. How exciting is that? I actually should upload those more frequently, so I'm gonna try to put a rush order on that one. We know what I should do. After I'm done live streaming today, I should just put several episodes up at a time, so I don't have to worry about it. Honestly, a good idea. Honestly, I don't know exactly what we're arguing about.
Another barrier blocks access to the Detour chamber.
EVs being the standard.
Seeing that this chamber holds great
Is that a Tesla thing, though? I don't think, like, again, I don't know history, but I don't think it's Tesla that's forcing the industry to become
by the symbol
more
of the month
reliant on electric vehicles.
covered in long dead vines.
Alternatives to gasoline are something that
The chamber
has been growing for a
marked by
long
the
time.
symbol of Kithri now lies in ruins. One of Maragall's lieutenants has turned it into a makeshift camp.
And also, a lot of the electric vehicles that are sold by, like, other companies are much less expensive than a Tesla vehicle. Like I said, I don't know the history.
Another magical barrier. Whatever was
I also
imprisoned
have only
within
seen, like, a few Teslas in my whole life. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian, there's just not a lot up here. I don't know. Like, I see all the other electric vehicles. Maybe it's just an American perspective. I have no idea. I literally don't know. Just play Path of Exile. Honestly, good call. Just forget about the real world. Live in an illusion. Like BMWs. Yeah.
A door with an intricate locking mechanism bars
Quest
any further
received.
progress.
I wonder how hard of a Google this would be. Did Tesla standardize the electric car? Great question. I don't know. I'm curious. I'd like to just kind of know the answer. And I'm too bored to finish reading the rest of this article. Oop. Degrees is warmer at freezing. What? Wait, what was that below freezing? No, it's the same freezing. Increased cost reduces demand, but things critical life like fuel, heat, and travel can't go down in demand. Yep. 100%, dude. 100%. Anytime where it's essential, then there can't be any concept of supply and demand. Gasoline, electricity, things like that. Effectively things that are like, you know, necessary for survival.
To reveal some the doors to the control room fly shut.
Necessary commodities.
A bone-chilling cackle echoes through the room.
I don't think I can stun this guy. No, I can't. Also, Garrett is like chilling. He's like not doing anything. There we go. Come on, buddy. Start taking actions. Good job, dude. Covering this setting, so I'm going to drop it and move on. Yeah, like it's one of those situations where what you guys are talking about, Twitch chat is not the good place to have the discussion, especially since I can't moderate the discussion, because I have literally no idea. I don't know anything about most of this stuff. I forgot what the puzzle was. I have to go back down and read it. Wait, is it in chat? Please tell me it's in chat. Oh, down, down, up. Yeah, we're good. European and civil? No, 100%. It's that I just don't know anything about it. I'm gonna let you guys have your discussion. I'm just not gonna engage because I have no clue. Again, large-scale economics is, or even, yeah, any amount of economics is something I don't know anything about. I never learned about that in school growing up, and when I went into post-secondary, never learned about that either. So, yeah, it's just something I don't know anything about. I could take the time and learn about it as a grown-up, because we all have the ability to learn new things and to expand our skill set and our horizon. But I don't want to do that. Worst place than YouTube comments for this kind of discussion? I wouldn't say it's like a worse place. It's just like I said, I'm just going to talk about the video game and other things. I don't really need to moderate the discussion. I just would prefer to stay in my lane. I don't really like putting my opinion out on things I don't really understand. Because I feel like it's not really fair. Like, I'd rather let the experts argue about it, if that makes sense. But like I said, there's a lot of things I don't understand. I don't know anything about economics, so I have nothing to input or to add. So I'm just gonna let other people have their argument and then kind of ignore it. I think that's what happens to a lot of people, is that it's less so that people are disinterested with things because oh well, people just don't care about the state of the world. But it's also because everything is really complicated and it's really exhausting, and I wouldn't even know where to start to learn half of these things. So again, it's not that I can't, it's that I just don't currently know, or I don't currently have the information that I would need to really participate in the conversation. So I just kind of tuned it out. I just stopped listening and stopped being interested, because it just is already going so fast and things are moving and I can't pick up on all of it. And I feel like a lot of people kind of get into that same feeling where they just they can't deal with the new information that's coming at them, because like I said, they don't know. And it's just too much work to get involved in. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to, like, I like to think that on some level, people do listen to me when I say something, right? So if I said, you know, if I say something along the lines of, like, Sorcerer is a very powerful class in Dungeons & Dragons Online, a good chunk of people will listen to me and be like, oh yeah, you know, that sounds right, and they'll trust my advice on that. That can extend to other things, whether I talk about how, you know, a movie is really entertaining, or a food is very delicious, or how something works. Like, I've talked about this before, but I went to school for microbiology and immunology, so when sometimes we might have a discussion came up, like especially when it came to a lot of the coronavirus stuff, you know, a lot of people were willing to listen to the things that I had to say, just because, you know, they have some understanding that I have a little bit of background knowledge about something, because, you know, of the way that I've talked about it. I try to be very careful when talking about things I don't understand at all, because of the terror that somebody listens to me and I tell them something that is just staggeringly wrong, but I don't even know it's wrong and I'm convinced that it's right. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's okay, but I just don't want to, you know, spread information that I can't corroborate on my own. I'd rather, if I'm going to say something, I'm going to give an opinion on something, I want it to, at the very least, be correct, or based in some semblance of fact, and I literally don't know shit about the economy. It's just, like, frustrating and aggravating. Like, it's something that I think a lot of people get frustrated about, like myself, where I don't know who to blame or what the problem is with the economy. All I know is that the economy not good, and then economy not good means everything expensive. So it's like, there's a good chance I'll just never be able to buy a house. Like, literally never. The house prices have gone up by such a drastic amount in my city. That's the only way I'd be able to buy a house if I move somewhere, like to the middle of nowhere. Live on some, you know, ramp, or live in some tiny shack in a mountaintop. And that's the only way I'm going to do it, because I'm being priced out of the city. And it's like, this sucks. I don't know why, and I don't understand why, and I've listened to people explain it to me, and it's just a bunch of noise.
There, Strim. Sorry I didn't hear what you said. Could you repeat it? I was busy throwing my head across my headphones inside of an Aurora Borealis that is localized entirely within my kitchen. Could you re-explain how people are listening to you?
People are listening to me? Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Fills this chamber with an icy hue.
People are listening to me at this time of the year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within my live stream. Unbelievable.
Warmth returns to your fingers as the final creature falls.
Are you a house type person? No, I don't ever want to own a house.
Hey Strim, Brian here. Just trying some Witcher 3 again. Looking at graphics options.
Yeah.
Vignetting. Are they just making up words now? How am I supposed to keep up with all these options and what they do? Hopefully everyone at Brawnder doesn't get laid off and crash the economy.
Okay, so vignetting. Okay, so basically a vignette is like a type of way of displaying the video. So think of like a movie theater or whatever. Oh, this is a bad room to be in. Hold on. I'm going to focus for a second, because Princess Aurelia really hurts. I am focusing really quick. I'll answer your vignetting question in a second, because I know the answer to this one. Holy crap, that was terrifying. Anyway. Yeah, when you go, when you go to the drive-in, and they say it's a vignette experience, it's exactly like that. So in The Witcher 3 now, to control the vignetting, when you turn it on, it means you have to use your car steering to be able to control Geralt when you're moving him around. So he's a little bit more slippery than normal. Yeah. So there's that. Is that nothing? They would know. Then they would know nothing, or whatever world it would be. Yeah. That's why I don't think I'd be a very good politician. Always go up in large cities. So yeah, it's probably true unless you strike it rich. Well, so again, this is where circumstances come into play. The housing prices in the city of Ottawa have doubled in the past 2 years. On average. So prices, like, since before the pandemic, prices have gone up by over 100%. Crazy thought. Nobody's salary's gone up by over 100%, so it just becomes, it's like an impossible market.
A fragment of Dale Core, the plane of dreams.
It's not something that I want to buy a house. It's just like, that's how the universe works, right? If you want to buy anything, you need to have some amount of, or you need credit and you need equity. And so if I want to get like a loan from the bank to do anything, I need to have,
The switch locks into place.
you know, I need to exist, like, own property already, or else I'll be able to buy any new property, or it becomes more difficult to buy property, or it becomes more difficult to get good interest rates. It just sucks. Just hearing about how the entire economic system just sucks. It's so demoralizing. And it's like, it just reminds me of how a buddy of mine, he wanted to buy a house with his brother. And his brother had already owned a place, and they were going to basically buy a second house. And the idea was that, okay, I gotta be careful about this. Oh, good, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm in trouble. Hold on. I want to yell about this, but the charisma damage from the... Okay, there we go. The charisma damage from the core eye apparently wasn't getting removed by my ability here, which is scary. Okay, I'm helpless. I can use that while helpless. Okay, I have 3 more charisma damage removals, and then I'm out of time, so I gotta be really careful. Okay, charisma damage, not a big deal. I'm not helpless yet. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, power word's done, but I'm not helpless though. I can still do stuff. Good. Sorry, this fight became way more dangerous than I initially thought, because I didn't realize that I forgot about the charisma damage and how dangerous that was, because I can't get rid of it, fortunately for me. Okay, get him out of here.
The quarry Hashalak
screams. Okay, good.
The quarry screeches and the cry of
Garrett, go
Hi,
get it.
Strim. Sorry I didn't hear what you said earlier. I was too busy thinking about where to throw my headphones before I found myself lost in thought. What was that you said about people listening to you?
I said that some people can listen to me, but not all of them can, because your ears are complicated. They're a complicated organ, and sometimes they just don't work depending on like the time of day or the humidity, or you know, whether you have your head turned like this or like that. So it's complicated. So you have to keep that in mind.
Sorry,
anyway.
I didn't hear that. Found where to throw my headphones. People leave.
Anyway, but no, I was gonna say, anyway, long story short, they were gonna buy a house together, but because my friend didn't own a house, and his brother did, they actually were gonna get a better rate from the bank if his brother just bought the house, as opposed to it being a joint decision where the two of them bought it together. Because my friend didn't have, like, he didn't own anything. He had no equity. And I was like, man, that sucks. It makes sense. Bank doesn't want to loan a bunch of money to somebody who doesn't necessarily have, like, you know, proof that they can own this type of property, but also it's like, damn, that just sucks. It's such a losing game. It just makes me demoralized about the whole system. It's one of the reasons why I don't really like talking about the housing market, or like about the economy in general, because it's just such an incredibly fucking depressing thought that you're just in this like death spiral for your whole life. Of never being, or like, of watching opportunities disappear before you because they just get out of reach. Does any sense? There's a credit score and money for a down payment. Yeah, but it was the mortgage rate that they were looking at. We're gonna get they would get a better mortgage rate, or if just his brother bought it alone. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that's like, it just sucks. It's just depressing, and it's complicated, and it's made intentionally, or it's not made intentionally complicated, but it's so complicated that it's just difficult for a layperson to understand without extensive training. Which, to be fair, is just the nature of society. We've talked about this before, but division of labor, sometimes things are complicated. It just is how it be sometimes. Okay, go, my hireling. Get them. No, go trigger the trap, dude. Goodbye. Goodbye, Garrett. Oh, the boy lived! Amazing. And he got the door open! I sent him through to get the door open and he actually did it. What a mad lad. I love it. Good job, Garrett. If I've ever said anything bad about this guy, I take it back. What an amazing, amazing man. Did you solo fighter build? Wait, really? Oh, that's awesome, Tiger Core. I'm glad to hear that. Dude, this fighter build is kick ass. Some people are getting there. What do you think is the most money, the highest DDO point cost you would pay for a Tome of Hamstring Immunity? I just keep getting hamstrung, and my brain is like, Over 9,000? Honestly, it's such a frustrating feature. $100? Not that I want them to charge that much. They're not going to sell anything like that anyway. But like if they said it's $100. $41.59. 2,500 is a pretty good amount of points. I would probably pay. I would pay 4,000 for sure. I wouldn't even think about it. Would I pay 6,000 DDO points? Probably. I'd probably pay 6,000 DDO points. Well, hamstring and the other slow one. Hamstring and what's it called? Tendon slice or something? Yeah. It's just it's a tome, it's a passive. Yeah. What about getting hit? You should try that. Oh, not getting hit. Oh, I was getting hit. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to get hit. Oh. I'm a fighter, though. Am I not supposed to get hit when I fight? I thought that's what you do. The question is, how much would you pay for a tome that ignores red alert slow? I actually don't like red alerting dungeons. So that wouldn't affect me that much. I much prefer to deal with dungeons when they're not red alerted. Does it sound crazy? Even though I do sometimes skip a lot of monsters, I actually like fighting all the monsters when I do quests. It's actually something I have to fight against myself. Like I've been playing Path of Exile a lot recently. And whenever you make a new character...
It depends a lot. I am immune to hamstring, because I don't mind running slow. I lived many lives with a dosent of defiance. Then again, now I got the power of money on my side. If it's a per life basis, 500 points. If it's permanent, nothing. It would spiral into pay to win power creep.
Creep. Yeah. Basically. No, I was gonna say is, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of Path of Exile recently. And in that game, you don't have to fight all the monsters. But every time, I'm always like fighting the urge not to clear every room and fight every single monster. Because I'm like, but I want to fight the monsters. Like playing the game is fighting the monsters. You don't have to fight all of them. But fighting the monsters is how you play the game. I really like doing it. Save Tom's already pay to win power creep. I mean, they're in the game though.
Why don't tasty hams cure hamstrung?
That's a good question. Tasty hams sure should cure hamstring. Where's my highlight? Like, you can already get the tomes out of the raids. Also, dude, that is another epic death. Shader Kai Assassin, that is somebody dying in Wayloon. Which is very close to me. I'm close to Wayloon level, so that's exciting. Yeah, there's tons of pay-to-win aspects about DDO. It just depends on what you consider as pay-to-win. But there's lots of things. Like, you can purchase experience points directly through autos boxes. Some people consider that pay-to-win. You can purchase XP points or XP potions. Some people consider that pay-to-win. You can, you can earn the tomes in the raids, or you can buy them in the DDO store. That's pay-to-win. The reason why I don't really care about it in DDO is because, as I said before, in my opinion, DDO is not a hard video game that necessitates this type of purchasing anyway. Case in point, here I am, solo fighter, using only the items that I'm found, and I'm just bullying my way through the video game. Like I said, the only exception to that is the hardest content in the game, which is Reaper, like high Reaper rating, is the only area where I would even think you would need some of that stats, or some of those stats. And technically you could do it, but the problem is even if you pay all the money in the world, you can't beat DDO servers and how bad they are for lag during raids, so it doesn't matter anyway. I don't even know where the ranger is. I'm still getting hamstrung. So goodbye, Garrett, the Sainted. Dude! Oh, this game is so hard, man. Earth grab. 3 and then a 1. Come on, let's go. Earth grab me again. I dare you. I double dare you. Fucking 1 again. Let's go! Yeah! I love it. Yes. Give me more 1s. Come on, Patrick the Maniacal. You piece of garbage. That's good. Yeah, just hamstring me again. I just need 1 more, please. 1 more, please. Thank you. Yeah, 1 more. 1 more. Yeah, 1 more. Thanks. Ah, perfect. That's what I just needed. 1 more crippling hit. God damn it. Anyway. Go back here and recall. Oh. Imagine if it gotten grabbed to death. No, you can use second wind while helpless. They'd have to burn through 10,000 hit points. But if I would funnel money into DDO, they'd be able to improve their experience. I don't know, honestly. The only way that improves your experience, in my opinion, with DDO is buying content packs. Content packs is basically the only way that you improve your experience in DDO. Generally. So, without move speed on boots and flasks? Yeah. Do you like having no movement speed on your boots and your flasks? It's always fun. You shouldn't do that. No, you can do whatever you want. This is America. You're allowed to do whatever you want. But just, you know, my recommendation to people, if they don't know what they should buy, usually content. Content is going to be the biggest driver of the game. It's the thing you get to play the most often, and so usually I'd recommend the content. Also, because the more content you have, the more different things you can do, and the more DDO points you can get by just playing the game. Not that you should be out here trying to, you know, grind your way through every DDO point to get through, but just considering this character alone is at 2,600 total favor, so that's 650 DDO points. Honestly, kind of cool. You know what I mean? Get him, Garrett. Go melee. The content just means everything they do is okay. I think so. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me, but I think so. Into MMORPG instead of an MSORPG, playing with people is fun. Massive solo online RPG. I mean, to be fair, most people, not most people, a lot of people do play together. There's just a lot of people that don't. Odd time schedules, that sort of thing. Also, MMOs are mostly solo anyway. They're pretty much all designed in such a capacity. Like Final Fantasy, the entire main story quest is entirely solo, except for the sections where you have to group with other people, or like, you know, different elements of the story, but they never acknowledge the fact that there's other heroes out there. It's just you, and you're the main character, you're the god. Same thing with like Elder Scrolls and World of Warcraft. You're the adventurer.
The cries for help are closer. Please. And
The game would mean it would make them continue and fix it. You shouldn't spend any money. Well, they're gonna improve the game regardless of whether you spend money or not. Like that's just part of the nature of you know, the development cycle, is that things change over time. It's all gradual. It doesn't happen like all at once. Like I said, there was a time where hardcore was a very laggy server, and hardcore is almost lag free most of the time, which is pretty cool. The new bank system is better than the old bank system. It's been improved. And I hope they're going to keep coming up with some more improvements for it, but, you know, at least it's currently a better system, which is nice. We got, like, the new archetype system for, like, some of the character classes, and they got the revamped cleric, which is pretty good. Looking forward to seeing some of the new changes we get in the new year. Yeah, like, the new bank is better. I would just... The one thing I really wanted as a feature is not to dump my character bank back into my TR cache. Because it does that, I just don't use the bank. I just use the TR cache, but yeah. Yeah, so don't spend the money. Do whatever you want. If you feel some type of, like, moral outrage, then do something about it. Ugh. Follow your heart and make decisions that would make you happy. Addition in the last 4 or 5 years. I know, archetypes are awesome. I love the archetypes. You've got Sacred Fist, which is good. You got Stormsinger, which I've only played one Stormsinger so far, but I've played more than one Sacred Fist and like 3 Dark Apostates, so I really got to get on that. You kind of can, because you're able to like use a Lesser Heart of Wood, or if it's an alt iconic. So for example, if you play like a Purple Dragon Knight, you can then take a level of Cleric, and that level of Cleric can be a Dark Apostate. It's obviously not the same. Who knows? Maybe it'll give them. Maybe they'll release some like iconics that are using the archetypes. So we'll get a new Stormsinger archetype, and it's like a blue Dragonborn Storm Dragon of the Storm archetype or something. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could happen. Last 4 to 5 years in DDO. Yep. I'm trying to think of other good features. 48.4 with the spell pass was sick. That's a good revamp. That was really, really good. The block Featherfall thing is awesome. That was a good change. Big fan of that. The Epic Destiny system, great change. Sentient weapons. I don't love sentient weapons in their current implementation. They can be done better. I really hate what sentient weapons did to weapon swapping, both in the fact that you don't weapon swap and in the fact that if you have enough sentient XP, you do weapon swap. The melee thing, dude, the life overhaul, 100%. What a good change. Look at my health. I got 1800 now. Like, melees feel genuinely a lot tankier. Absolutely. Oh, the Reaper snapback? Oh my god. You guys remember when before, if you snapped back to your stone, it would reset your Reaper timer? Oh my god, dude. It's so good. That was such a good change that they made. And getting rid of that was fantastic. Quality of life. $100,000 game, but I won't do it this year. Then don't do it. Good. Just make a change and then stick with it. I like it. Fear Reapers used to kill you from across the map? Yeah. Remember when Fear Reapers used to be, like, completely pointless, but now you actually have to, if there's like 2 Fear Reapers in a room, they can wipe your whole party if you don't pay attention.
Reaper snapback? Are Reapers getting sassy now?
Yep. Reapers are sassy as heck, dude. And that melee overhaul, I completely forgot about that one. Yeah, the life thing is so good. Yeah, like I said, there are some missteps in terms of like the and I got upset. Hardcore League, you know, the lack of announcement. It just would have been nice to know. No, it's got to be 2 weeks notice. You've got what is it? The bank and how the servers had to go up and down to accommodate the new bank changes, which is just like really silly because they kept having problem into problem into problem. The archetypes came out, but they had so many issues with TRing and just generally leveling it with them and all sorts of problems. Like that was also kind of stupid. Whereas like, oh, you take a level up as an archetype, but congratulations, you're actually a bard now, and you're like, what? What's happening? Why is this happening to me? Yeah, there were some, and that was stuff that was like on the preview server that should have been caught ahead of time. I made my big rant earlier this year, where I was basically just like, I don't know what the problem is, but they gotta fix it. The content is good when it's done. It just needs to be done before it's put in the game. Or at the least, like, I'm a DDO player. I can deal with bugs in the content. You know, it is what it is. Like, that's just what's gonna happen in the future of DDO. But like, at least not bugs where they have to take the game servers offline, or bugs where like your game character stops working. Like the bug in Dark Apostate where you couldn't use it while raging. It's like, okay, that is a bug, but also, whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't have like a strong opinion about that. Like, I don't really care. It's like, oh no, I can't rage while using it. Okay, that affects some people's builds, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect most people's builds. And even still, you can get away with not raging while you're using your Dark Apostate. Like, you figure it out. But yeah. Oh, dude, the LFM change? Absolutely amazing. Look at this beautiful LFM. Search dungeon. I use this every day that I play this game, except for when I'm doing these solo videos, because I don't need to post an LFM when I'm playing by myself, which is very freeing. So yeah. Enough fully fix the TR glitch cache? TR glitch cache? I don't know. The Night Rebels level 2 stats not having the right stats, and they still don't, by the way, which is ridiculous. I can't believe there wasn't even a patch to fix it. I don't understand. I'm trying to think about this, but I don't know how communicating company. I can't post forums because they're full of hate, but I love making things important improvements to the game that they're making. The easiest way you communicate it is by communicating with $signs. The people that post on the forums, I'm quitting the game, dude, and I hate this game, and I'm not going to spend any more money on it, are still subbed. Because they're posting on the forums. They're having a good time. They're enjoying the controversy and the conflict. Feels good in the morning. Wake up, have a bowl of frustration. I do want a little bit of music. I do want a little bit of rock and roll. Anyway, Sonic Blast and Reverb. Mana. Bell power. Skills. I can't use this. I don't need Fort Bypass. Actually, I do need Fort Bypass. Oh, yeah, Fort Bypass. Good call. I knew that was somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know why I'm jumping in circles. I need to do Gianthold Tor. Nothing. I'm hoping, I think, that I should be able to hit 26 when I hand in the Saga reward. I do live and empty your mailbox 3K through Sunfly. Your mailboxes are full. I won't do that, but thank you for asking. I do appreciate that you asked me to do that, and I'm not going to. I'm going to let my mailboxes be full for a little bit. Changes to flagging? Yeah, they made some changes to some older quests. I mean, they might if they revamp Titan Raid, maybe they'll make some changes there. That'd be kind of cool. Don't be their whale? Yeah, don't do it. Don't be their whale. I support that decision. I don't like these items, though. Excuse me, video game. Bet that open instances are now more accurate to the quest level? Yes. Oh, yeah, that too. All the instance changes. Pretty much everything that changed in the entire LFM panel. Big fan. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, be a dolphin. Be like a narwhal. You know, like that song from Weeble? About the narwhals swimming in the ocean? That they're causing a commotion?
Ignos growls a giant from a
There we go. So now I have Inspire Courage.
entrance. Did you think because we let you in, you could pass freely here? Stand in the center there.
I was gonna make a comment about, like, I don't know, dude, orcas are pretty sexy, but then apparently orcas are not, well, whales, but like just big porpoises or something. You're first not gonna spend a dime on SSG? Sounds good. Don't spend a dime on SSG. I'm also not gonna spend a dime on SSG. In fact, I'm not gonna spend a single dime on SSG in the entire year of 2023. Do you know why? Because I wasn't paying attention one day when I was clicking around in the sub options, and I accidentally, without my knowledge, or without direct knowledge, bought another year of sub. So I'm subbed until 2024, so I don't have to buy anything. Oh well, it just took care of a problem that I was gonna have to solve anyway. Aquatic mammals, they are. Well, yeah, and also I wouldn't support a call to action. I support people's individual choice to be able to do it if they want, but if you want to start somebody wants to start a boycott against Sandstone Games in my Twitch chat, they picked the wrong Twitch chat. They gotta go somewhere else. If you had to make one change in DDO, what would it be? If I could make one change to improve the game only, I would make it so that Reaper mode and Elite difficulty both give the same amount of XP, so people can choose whether they want to level with extra challenge or play quests with extra challenge or not. And stop forcing people to do Reaper mode. That'd be the biggest change I would make to the game. Make it so that both Elite and Reaper both give plus 95% XP, so if you want the extra challenge, you play on Reaper, and if you don't, you play on Elite difficulty, and that's it. I think that would be very, very good for the video game. What else would I do?
Can I start a cult in your Twitch chat or no?
Yeah, that's cool. As long as you save me like one of the a robe, for sure. The hiring? Yeah, you have to check the Daybreak careers page. Removing the self-healing penalty would be nice, but I think I would prefer just to make Elite and Reaper mode give the same amount of XP. So if the Strimtom Games people don't want to remove the self-healing penalty or make any changes to that, they at least don't force people to play a game mode they don't want to play. People are forced to play Reaper mode in this game. You have to play Reaper mode if you want a group. It is unfortunate, but it is the way the game works. Reaper mode was meant to be an alternative difficulty for people who wanted to play the game at a harder capacity, and it turned into a mandatory difficulty for everyone to be able to play.
Ancient giantish magic.
And I don't need to prove it. We've already done the thing where I pull up the DDO audit website, and we go scroll through every LFM on every server except for Hardcore League and find out that everyone's playing Reaper all the time. And then people tell their own anecdotes about how they open quests LFMs on Elite difficulty and no one joins their game. I could rehash that discussion. I don't have the energy. I'm right. I know I'm right. Like in some cases, I will concede that maybe I can be wrong or maybe I'm misunderstanding something somewhere. No, I'm right. Everyone else that disagrees with me is wrong, and it's something that should change. I said I will concede a lot of things, but not this one. I think it is bad for the game that Reaper mode gives so much more XP than Elite difficulty, and that everyone is funneled into playing on Reaper mode. Damn, you're going so fast, dude. This guy's... You're tearing through the game. That's crazy. Man, you're seriously ruthless. Look at this guy. He's so ruthless. Oh my god. Just ripping through it. Holy moly. I drink so many healing potions. Although, I do like having 159 repair ramp. Ramp.
You are free to move deeper into the Tor.
Much needed res? Yeah. I found a pair of gloves that had, I think, 9% fire resistance, and I had a ring that was just a topaz ring, so it had, I think, 29 lightning, which is kind of cool. And then when you get a passive, a lot of passive resist out of the Tree Templar area, loads of resist. Maybe picking up some passive resist as well.
Find a crevice concealed by
When using the self-healing pendant, if there's not there, then I wouldn't care that everyone is expected to play Reaper 1. I just like Reaper as an optional difficulty. Like, it being the main driver behind the video game is kind of weird. Like, a lot of video games have their supplementary difficulties as optional things, right? So look at, like, World of Warcraft. I think, does World of Warcraft still have heroic dungeons? I think they do. But that was the,
I think
like the general pipeline. Yeah. I do sound like I do feel like I'm going crazy as well.
As the lever clicks into place,
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they still have heroic dungeons. Heroic dungeons are the regular pipeline. You're supposed to do the normal dungeons, maybe during like the quests or whatever, and then you do your daily heroic dungeons that you like click the queue, and you barely need to look at the screen. You just kind of got to click around and do one of these, and then play the game. Whereas Mythic Dungeons is how you gear, but the majority of the player base are not going to really engage with the Mythic Dungeon system because it's meant to be the supplementary difficulty on top of it that is for the endgame progression. But again, the majority of players, the people who are not logging into Twitch chats to talk about the game, but are instead just turning it on, playing the expansion, and turning it off, are going to log in, do their whatever, and then turn it off. And it makes sense because you don't want to funnel everybody into the hardest content, because when you funnel everybody in the hardest content, it means that some people either aren't good enough to do it or don't know what to be good enough to do it, and then they quit.
Concealed by rubble here. It is just large enough.
Having it as an accessible option, but not mandatory, is the best case scenario. It means people can choose to do it. There are benefits for running Reaper mode even outside of that. They can keep the increased drop rate. I don't think anyone really complained too much about that, because it takes longer to do anyway. So it just makes sense. It takes longer to do, so you get better gear, or like higher drop rates. Sure. They can keep the Reaper XP thing. Sure. Just change that one aspect. They're having the feeling of clearing the raid on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, but even still, everybody is such a small portion. There's got to be data on that, right? The number of people that clear mythic raids. There's got to be data out there. You use VMs or containers?
Ancient gears grind.
I don't know. I don't know what you just said. What's a container? Is that like a container? Or like a coat, like a coat rack, but, or like a coat holding container. It's also complicated. I hate the negativity of it. Container. Where's the protainer? You know, where's the good thing? Reaper XP though? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would change it so that Reaper and Elite give the same XP by boosting Elite up to the same amount of XP as Reaper mode, and then making a small adjustment upwards in the XP of normal and hard. The normal and hard are a little bit closer to, or a little bit higher than they were before. Make it a smoother scale. Do something like, you know, plus 30% XP on normal, plus 60% XP on hard, plus 95% XP on Elite and Reaper mode.
When the dragons find out the Portal Master threatens, they will come for you. They are the Detour, and their masters.
Get right, die everybody. Die. Why does Ignos have so many hit points? Ugh. On the skeleton. I don't like when the skeletons are attacking me. I guess I can get rid of this sentry here. There we go. Get rid of you. container. Typos are difficult. Oh, I gotcha. Well, because like I don't know computer for stuff, so I was like, oh, what's a container? Like I don't know. It could be a real thing. That could be a product that is made. No more stunning blow. Get out of here. I didn't realize how much health this guy had. Oh my god. I'm not used to Ignos being so tanky. Ignos, please stop. Why are you so strong?
In the cloud of madness leaves his eyes.
Right.
One came over. Dragons. Beware. There are
Okay, he's dead.
3 of them.
Oh. It makes a typo, then is it funny? No, it is oftentimes very funny when a big company makes a typo. I think it depends on the person. I usually find it very funny when large companies make typos. It depends on the context of the message, right? So, like, if it's something really important, it's important to make sure that there aren't typos in a message. So, you know, like an agency responding to, like, a tragedy. It's important to not have, like, typos and stuff like that, because it's, like, important. But if there's, like, a McDonald's commercial, or, like, a McDonald's sign somewhere, and they're like, there's like a typo in one of the words, that's just hilarious to me. It's like mega corporation just lost a little bit of money. They spent all this money and they made a big mistake. It's like minor in the grand scheme of things, but it's just entertaining. I'll talk to this guy. Give me my end reward. Yes. Yes. Did I not hand in my quest? No, I didn't. Shoot. Only 14.6% killed the last boss in the last raid on the hardest difficulty. And that's of all the people that were parsing specifically on Warcraft logs. Which makes me wonder how many people get to... Because remember, that's of the percentage of the population that use Warcraft logs. People that don't even use it are going to be outside of that spectrum entirely. Which doesn't mean that people aren't raiding. Some people even, like, I didn't parse. Like, I had SCADA open, but I wasn't, like, actively parsing them the majority of the time. ×4 Battle Axe. Axe of Adaxus. Look how good this weapon is. Oh, I can get the Wind Lasher. Oh, it's a falchion. I thought it was a bastard sword. Charush's Inferno. Conflagration Incineration. Is this a 17 to 20 times 2? Actually, 17 to 20 times 2 is really good. I didn't know this is expanded threat range. I mean, I was a Mythic Raider and I didn't use Warcraft logs. No, I actually got a weapon upgrade.
Heads turn and gasp.
Have you played Neverwinter Nights?
Stormreaver
Yes.
has appeared
Neverwinter Nights I
before
have
the
played.
Tor. There he stands and waits to meet the heroes who
Very
saved
cool.
his kindred
How does it
from
look?
the spell.
I mean, it's also pretty badass looking. But yeah, look at that. 5550, whereas this is 5550. It's not expanded threat range. I was looking at the... I have improved critical. Oh, I forgot they made that change where you can see the weapons in there. Yeah, it's just showing the feats. Damn it. That still bamboozles me. Even to this day. I forgot that they made that change a long time ago. Whoa. I was like, what? Why don't I have this weapon? Like, why have I not been using this the whole time? And now I know why. Also, keep track in today's era. Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. Somebody in the raid would have been tracking it, for sure. But, yeah. This game reminds you a lot of it. Of Neverwinter Nights? I mean, Neverwinter Nights was based off of 3.0 Dungeons & Dragons. And this is based off of 3.5. So I can see some of the comparisons right away. There definitely are some similarities between the games in that regard. I don't have a good weapon. Wait, what was the bamboozle? Yeah. Wish me luck, streamer. Tarkov wiped today. Oh. Good lork. Okay, outside of the feel of it? Yeah. I can see where you're coming from with that. I'm going to respec my trees. For some more stats. I don't know why I didn't just do the respec all button. I don't need spot and intimidate. I don't need that. I think I'll take the shield bonus to armor class and get last hope. Get this. Material. Adamantine. And then... Oh, not adamantine. I want silver and then good. Good weapons are powerful. Do I need anything else other than good? No, good sounds right. And then Fate Spinner, or Fate Singer. Grab the Sword Sings. It's this, plus Blade of Discord, plus that, plus the Mantle, Glitter of Fame, plus Rain. So by doing this, I now have all the third cores, so I just gained even more melee power. Last Hope, so in theory I should be really immune to knockdowns now. And the bypass, plus I get more armor class for my shield, so now I've got 89 armor class, which is a little bit better. Guys apply for jobs? Like, what if you're in a job where you make 100k and are applying for a job that pays 70k? Can you guys apply for a job? I don't know how to answer that question because I'm not sure I understand the premise. You streaming, he's Tomming. I am streaming and I am Tomming. Near South, did you want your Onigoroshi back? I ask because I now have your Onigoroshi. I want to give it back to you. I just want to make sure it gets to the right person. Because if it doesn't, then, you know, it's sad. Or actually, how much is it? How much does it cost? Onimi what? Onigoroshi. We should check the price of Oni. I've also not been using any of my collectibles and stuff because I've just been like banking them. Here we go. That goes there and that goes there. Yeah, I want to return the Oni. I'm wondering about the fact that I have a job that pays way more, but I'm looking for a job that pays less, but I think I'd be happier in that job. That's often the case for a lot of people, is you might work in a job where you get paid more, but then working in a job that pays less might be more rewarding in some way. Realistically, that's kind of the concept of retirement. I feel like a lot of people, when they retire, they expect to not do a whole lot, but realistically, most of us are, unfortunately, chronic workaholics, or people that just kind of like end up spending their time working anyway, where the second you get a break, you break and you take some time to yourself for a very short period of time until you realize, nope, I can't do this, and you have to get back up on the horse and get back to work and doing things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. That's just the way a lot of people are generally wired. And so the end solution to that problem is to work at a job that you actually enjoy as opposed to something that you have to do. So a lot of people will retire and then they'll take up a job doing something else, doing something that is more enjoyable. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. I think that, you know, you want to, what's the expression? You want to work to live, not live to work. So if you think you might be able to work at a job that will make you happier, it's not a bad idea. That being said, financial stability is a thing that you need to think about before you change jobs. So like always just double check your finances to make sure that if you're going to do something, that's not that big of risky business as it would be. That's the Strimtom Pro Gamer advice. I'm just banking some crap. Go, crap, out of my inventory. Crap away!